Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Arena of Arsha 2025 tournament. It's been a hot minute since we've had one of these, so I'm sure everyone's excited to hop back in.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, for sure. For console, I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to this tournament, so we're so happy to get it back. Today we have a special guest, or two special guests rather. On my left, we have CM Etsu. On your right, I guess.
Yeah.
Why don't you say a few things about yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's CM Etsu. If you guys don't know me, I am originally from the PC platform. For maybe some of you might be familiar, but I'm joining the console desk today. So thank you so much for having me, Vaha.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to some awesome PvP and seeing how things in the tournament work for console. And then also on my left, actually, we also have Zen joining us. So why don't you go ahead and shout yourself out?
How's it going, everybody? My name's Zen. On Twitch, I'm Zen TV. I've been a part of the BDO console community for really since beta, as long as I can remember. So it's an awesome experience to be part of the, from my understanding, second official AOA tournament. So I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be here, and I'm ready to kick it off.
Let's go. All right. I'm sure everyone has seen some of the hype clips that we had included for the teaser, as some of the heated moments that we had in the prelims. And today is going to be no different. Things are just heating up as we get into the quarterfinals. We're going to be playing through the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then of course grand finals. So let's go ahead and hop into the rule set if we have it ready.
All right, let's get right into things. Exciting.
It's going to be a run-of-the-mill Arena of Arsha format. We're going to have HP decreasing over time. So we don't want some more action in there. It doesn't, can't have it too stale. So we're gonna have HP decreasing by 20% at the 2-minute mark, and HP decreasing again at the 50% once we get to the 1-minute mark. So it just keeps things spicy. People have lower HP bars, and
we have to have a little bit of a risk there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And here are your rewards. Starting with second place. Each adventure on the second place team is going to be taking home a glorious Arsha Awakening weapon for 180 days. So pretty sizable amount of time, to enjoy that slick weapon. You're going to get 3 glorious Arena of Arsha reward boxes and a nifty trophy to celebrate your second place finish. And also, this is the real kicker here for me. I do love my crons.
Yep.
You're going to get 30,000 crons for locking in that second place.
Sheesh.
And for third place, we're going to have Glorious Arsha Awakening Weapon 90 days, Glorious Arsha Reward Box. You get 2 of those. And you also get a trophy as well. So, nice. Also, on top of that, you will be getting 20,000 pearls.
Not bad.
Pretty good. For fourth place, you'll be getting the Glorious Arsha Awakening Weapon for 80 days, Glorious Arsha Reward Box, and 10,000 pearls. And now we're moving to the real juicy.
The real one. The
lion's share of the tournament here. Here's going to be the first place rewards.
Sheesh.
For our grand finalist, they will be taking home our Arena of Arsha exclusive title. So you can, flex that on all the people in open world. Let them know who's
Yep, I won that.
Did you know?
No, not me.
Okay.
I was imagining.
Okay. And, of course, you'll be taking home a Glorious Arsha weapon permanent. So instead of just being able to rock that for about 3 months or 4 months,
you'll have it forever.
Yeah, crazy weapon. I know that a lot of people have their eyes set on this.
Has cool animated effects too.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite one, Etsu?
Honestly, the Sorceress one. I think that one's really sick.
Coming from a DK player.
I know.
Quite traitorous of you. But,
I played Sorc for a bit.
Yeah. Okay, and also we'll be giving you guys 5 Arena of Arsha reward boxes and 50,000 pearls.
Ooh, that's a few hexapacks right there.
That is a few indeed. Okay, now that we have rewards squared away, let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets.
All right.
Okay, today in our round of 8, we have Whom's Betas taking on a bucket of water, or I guess more accurately, just a bucket of water.
Just a bucket of water.
And on the bottom half of the left side, we have another Whom's Betas. I believe that's their B squad. I don't know if they're sister teams or the same people, but we're about to find out.
Ooh, they can't get to the finals on one side. We like that, making the sister teams fight against each other.
That'll be actually very interesting if they're playing against each other in the semifinals. But very, very key here is they're up against the reigning champions from the last Arena of Arsha. The proof is going to be a big team to watch here. Yeah. And on the right side of the bracket, we have the Bloodline, Sanin, DSR, and Peligro. So, I'm really excited to see how this all breaks down. Do you guys have any thoughts about any of the teams that we have today?
Right. Well, let's bring it back to us on the main desk here while we discuss. Well, I'm kind of new here, so there's only so much input I could put towards these teams.
Mhm.
But what do you two know about this, Zen and
Just
Baja?
looking at the preliminaries, really the Hooms and Bitters team are definitely the ones to keep an eye on, right? Because as far as I'm always for the underdog stories, right? So the proof, they did take it last time, right? So I would love to kind of see them put the hot seat here, right? So I'm kind of anybody that wins, they've earned it, but I got to be rooting for anybody that's kind of going against the grain here. And Hooms Space Bitters is definitely up against the wall. It's gonna be a tough fighting the reigning champions. So
This is gonna
I'm
be
really
so
excited for
confusing.
that second fight's going to be all eyes on.
All eyes on them.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I feel like I really want to see some, Cinderella stories come out from some of our participants that, haven't had the chances, show their skill in the limelight. It's been a long time since we had an official tournament like this, so I'm really excited to see what people have to bring out today.
All right.
It looks like we have our first match ready, so why don't we go ahead and...
I think let's check out
Sorry,
the team
we're just going to
comps
see
first.
the team comps for the first team. We're still getting people in there. So this is going to be Hooms beat us without the space bar in between. We have Daiji Bunny on the Awakened Megu, I believe. Poppy Avatar rocking that Awakened Warrior. And Jailer is going to be on Awakened Mystic. On the right side, we have Bucket of Water. Motoko on the Sorceress, tried and true. This guy's been around for a long time, an OG in the PvP scene. Still rocking the Sorceress, so very, very cool to see. And with him, we have God of Feats, very nice, on the Awakened Mystic, and Boogeyman on the Awakened Hashashin.
Very nice. Well, do you have any predictions for either Zen or Vaha? Do you two have any predictions on which team has the better chance here?
Judging off what we see here, I would have to throw my towel in and say that I'm probably rooting for the Awakened Megu because I have a soft spot for her in my heart. I do play with Megu myself, so I want to see.
So you're the
Daiji
one.
pop off.
You're the one playing Awakening Megu as well. I see.
I'm just a honest enjoyer.
Not to piggyback off the Awakening Megu play, but if we did watch during the preliminaries last week, Bunny in particular was just watch Bunny play. The how focused they are in the fight and how impactful they could be. It just kind of felt like there'd be a fight going on in the north, they'd be there, and then you'd switch over to the next person, and they're also fighting on the south. So just the speed
everywhere.
in which they can kind of jump pack to pack it's wild. But I think really the deciding factor here is going to be the mirror match on the Awakening Mystics on both ends. I think it's going to be the make or break. Those vacuums be definitely a deciding factor for the fights.
Gotcha.
Yeah, looking at this, Awakening Megu, I don't know if you want to bring it back to the desk, but the Awakening Megu, especially as a sorceress, is going to be really tough to deal with because, in between trades, like a Sork is going to trade like with Grim, like with a lot of SA, but when they're in those downtime situations, they kind of have to sit there in their frontal guard. But whenever there's an Awakening Megu on your screen in the same vicinity, you just know that I think it's called Fox Flare.
The little block jump, right?
Yeah, the
where he
Fox
jumps
Flare
behind you.
ambush, just jumping behind you
What
instantly.
frontal guard?
Ooh, yeah, what frontal? It's super
Yeah.
armor, it's a float, so you have to be really careful. And as a previous Sork player myself, that is a very difficult thing to deal with. On top of not only dealing with the Awakening Megu, you're dealing with the Warrior as a sorceress, and you're dealing with a Mystic. So you're going to have to watch out for those grabs and getting jumped behind you. It might put him in a situation where he's forced to sit in SA and then get grabbed. But we'll see what happens. He also has 2 grabs on his team. I'm assuming the Hash is an Awakening. I don't know if
100%, yeah.
Awakening Hash with that range grab, as well as that Mystic. So he does have a beefy front line. It's just the other team also does too.
Yeah.
So at least the grabs are even, 2 on each side. But, man, it's going to be really tough to deal with that Awakening Megu, I feel like.
So what about you, Zen? What do you think, I guess, Bucket of Water has to do to mitigate a lot of this pressure coming out of the Awakened Megu?
It's got to be focusing the Awakening Megu. You just can't let him control the pace of the fight, right? So, if that comes through the Awakening Hash kind of being the... it also has the opportunity for block jumping, right? So, if Bunny is left alone to do what Bunny needs to get done, then it's going to be a problem for the other team, so...
Right.
But Toko being the only DPS, right? Like, any CCs are involved on either side. If Bunny is involved on a CC on their team, then the damage will be there. If you take that DPS out of it, then nobody should be getting one combo.
Right. And one thing to note too is, at least from my experience fighting Awakening Magus on PC, they are really tough to deal with, but from what I've experienced, the longer the fight goes on, now it starts getting really tough for an Awakening Magu to sustain their stamina. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. You are the Awakening Magu expert. But I feel like once you're out of stam on Awakening Magu, whenever that happens, it's really tough to start doing aggressive plays when you need to.
I see.
So maybe if they can just sustain and play the fight out while fending off versus the Warrior Mystic, they may have a chance.
So maybe if you thinking maybe if they have a more slow, methodical approach to this, they might be able to edge out the win.
Slow with pressure. It's difficult just to say play slow, because playing slow involves, is the other team going to play slow as well?
That's true.
Are you guys going to play safe in those beginning trades? And if you can make it through the beginning of that match all the way up until like the 50% HP decrease, I feel like they have a really good chance of winning. But, you know, that's easier said than done. But why don't we go ahead and check out what's actually going to happen? I think the round is ready.
Okay, before we hop in there, do we have any predictions from you guys? What do you guys think?
I'm thinking... well, you guys really did hype up DJ Bunny, so I'm gonna vote on Whomsby does with no space.
Zen?
I'll go against the grain. I'm gonna go Buckwater.
Always with the underdog. Okay, so looks like the match is ready to go.
Wait, Vaha, what about your prediction?
Hey, I'm neutral here.
No,
He's the deciding factor.
No.
He's the side actor.
Play a favorite. Play a favorite.
Yeah.
Yo, Dodgy, get in there, bro. I need you.
All right, let's get right into it. All right, we are here at the start of the gate. You can see that Motoko, things are starting out. Looks like Motoko is actually going to beeline straight down the middle with his Mystic. Mystic is going to use E-Buff. Dreamadoom gets tossed out, doesn't quite find a target. DJ Bunny is playing out on the sides. We can see Makoto is also at the center of the arena. Eruption doesn't find anyone, and he is going. The Sork is going to E-Buff, and he's going to try and create a little bit of pressure, but unfortunately he does get grabbed by the Warrior. He gets KD'd, and he is forced to V. Warrior does find that grab. Pappy Avatar is going to keep going in, trading with Gravedigger, but it doesn't quite find someone. He does manage to sniff the V, but it doesn't connect, and now Pappy Avatar is in the middle of everything. Nothing quite going on just yet. Just a lot of trading. No HP bars dropping, but it looks like... Pappy Avatar is CC capped on the ground. I don't think he's forced to V just yet. He is going to stand back up. Everyone's kind of getting CC, but no one's going down. All right, Poppy does get grabbed. He's put on the ground. He's down to half HP.
Might have to V here.
He might have to V here. He does manage to, I believe, V out of the fight, and you can see that Jailer is just resetting, getting his shards back up, and trying to find something, but doesn't quite sniff that V there. Gotta Feats is going to use his feet and try to find his target, but it does look like he gets trapped in the patio. Nothing quite found yet. Range grab missed from the Boogeyman. And we're just dancing around. Looks like Jailer is back on the ground, but with no V, the Sork does get a re-KD.
He's dropping really low right now.
He is dropping low, but it looks like he does actually have a lot of gear. There wasn't quite enough damage there, and everyone's just going crazy in the center of the arena. Looks like Pappy is playing it so. He's going to dash forward. It looks, that pressure from the Warrior, it's tough to exist near him without being afraid with grab. But Boogeyman does manage to get grabbed on the ground. He is KD'd, but manages to get back up. And it looks like everyone in this match is really tanky. Everyone above 80% HP. It does look like the 50% HP decrease will happen in 20 seconds. Boogeyman back on the ground, but not quite enough. Wow, everyone is geared here. We love to see it. DJ Bunny is playing from the side with range. And he does go back in, but doesn't quite find his target.
Still no E-Buff in Magu. Trying to save it,
I guess. Yeah.
Right, this is a good match. All right, Jailer is put back on the ground. Everyone is below 50% HP. There was a V forced out there. I'm not sure by who. And it looks like Boogeyman is going to go back in, try to get the flank, try to get some...
really, really low right now. He's got to be very careful.
Yeah, you got to be really careful with that chip, and now everything is just converging onto this point. It doesn't look like anyone's going to go quite down, but there is a lot of chip damage going down here. Jailer manages to get out of the fight. Makoto doesn't quite find someone. Makoto does actually end up killing DJ Bunny. That makes it a 3v2, but Motoko is really low. He is going to have to play reset. He is going to have to play it safe. Boogeyman back on the ground. Gotta Feats on the ground as well. You're going to have to get up out of your feet, buddy, and... no one's going down quite yet. Motoko is taken out of the fight. Now it's a 2v2. Vita still has a chance here. Everyone's really low. Boogeyman is getting forced out of the fight, but he's still going to go back in and try to find something. The Mystic God of Feats is getting really low. Let's see what we can do here. Boogeyman forced to V out to the side, leaving it to a 2v1 right here. Are they going to be able to get God of Feats, or is he going to get away?
Looks like he held it on for a little bit, and he just might be resetting a little bit here to regroup.
And that's going to be it. And it looks like that first round went to Whom's beat us.
Yeah, it looks like they took it by HP there. It was really close towards the end there with a lot of low HP bars, but in the end, it just went down to time.
Yeah, and it actually, the match did play out to time, and the prediction I had with Whom's Vita is losing if it went down to time was incorrect.
That's interesting
that
because...
was spot on. You did say.
Yeah, because Zed didn't mention that the Megu did not use her E-buff. I couldn't tell if she did use it at the end or not, but she still held it, right?
Never used.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see some more action coming out of the, Whom's Beta side on the second round here, but
let's go ahead and check out that second round. All right. Whom's Vita's with the first win. Let's see if they can get first to 3. Godefeats is going to beeline it down to the center of the map. Let's see who his target is going to be. It looks like he goes to peel his teammate, but he does manage, and he manages to get CC'd.
He jumps straight into the CC.
Yep, he jumps back up. Jailer on the ground, but I think they realize Jailer is really tanky, and it might not be worth focusing him first. I think in this match, it's probably easier to go for that Sork in that Megu. First for chip damage. It looks like Sork is going to look for the Grim Reaper's Judgment. Doesn't quite connect, and he's going to reposition towards the outskirts. Sit and Rushing Crow. His teammate DJ Bunny is on the ground, but it doesn't look like he used his V just quite yet. There's the vacuum from the Mystic, getting everyone trapped right here. Hash also dumping damage in the center of the battle. But there's that Water Dragon going up, and everyone is just trading into each other.
Seems like everyone we have in this lobby is very
geared.
Very geared and confident in the gear that they are wearing.
And
so
honestly, I love that. It's not like a simple you get grabbed and you're dead.
Definitely.
Range grab is going to miss on Boogeyman. He's going to go through the patio. Looks like Boogeyman is put on the ground, but is not taken out quite yet. All right, Godefeats is resetting. He's approaching towards the center of the map and just trying to find something while dancing around. He's probably going to have to want to go in the center of that fight there and back up his teammates. DJ Bunny just sitting in SA. Godefeats on the ground, but no one to be found to take him out. DJ Denny trying to spin through. DJ Bunny trying to spin through and find a catch. Doesn't quite connect. Godefeats going back in. Somersaulting into the air. Doesn't quite find something. There's the Massive Destruction. Doesn't catch anyone, but he is trying to put some damage onto Jailer any little bit he can.
It seems like the two teams are just kind of dogfighting in the middle with no one taking really much damage, nothing significant really happening.
Until
that.
You just jinxed it because Pappy just got knocked out into his V. Let's see if they can find that sniff. That's going to be a deciding factor right here. Are they able to find him? Not quite sure. Looks like he came off from the side of the screen. Makoto is trying to SA trade, but he is getting chipped down low. 1 minute has happened, so 50% HP decrease is going to occur. Looks like Makoto is trying to find that catch on the Warrior. Doesn't find it with the TBS or the Grim, and now he's caught in a 1v3
Dropping
situation.
Dangerously low, has to buy some time.
Right, sitting in Nightmare, just trying to wait for his teammates. Really smart, sitting in that SA, but make sure you don't get grabbed. All right, he does manage to get Eruption with Jailer. Jailer is re-KD'd. Is he going to go down? And he is forced to V.
That's a
very wise decision. But it looks like Makoto was
just got picked off.
Just picked off. His V was down. It looks like it's a 3v2 situation. If Whom's Vitas can keep this momentum up, they will have this round. Jailer getting low, but he comes back and tries to trade with Grave. Doesn't quite. DJ Bunny on the ground is just going to take him out. He isn't re-CC'd. He does V. He's playing it safe, but now his teammate is getting 3v2'd. Is it going to be enough? Is he going to be okay? Boogeyman is going to go down. He does manage to get back up, dancing around, staying in the fight, actually doing a phenomenal job, but it's still a 3v2 situation. Is he going to be able to find a catch? Are they going to be able to make it even? Not quite sure with 2 seconds left. I believe that Whom's Vitas is going to take that second round there. All right.
Wow. Really action-packed.
Yeah, this is a really
good
good
notice right
match.
at the end on those last couple seconds, the Mystics are actually saving their self-PAs to kind of bump up their HP for that final score. And I think that's a huge, that is going to be, there's a lot of Awakening Mystics that we're going to see that as like a trend.
Do you think that was the deciding factor there in that fight, just being able to PA there and hold the health?
It was a 3-2, so.
That's true, that's true. Yeah.
Never know.
You're a man down. So I kind of wanted to dive more into the Awakened Mystic because I guess I'm not really too well versed in having a Mystic on your team.
Especially Awakening Mystic, you're usually, at least on PC, used to seeing Succession.
Yeah, but until recently, right?
Until recently, yeah. There were some buffs to Awakening Mystic. Yeah. She has a lot of utility with that vacuum, has a lot of sustain.
So much control.
Yep, so much control. That is definitely a good frontline control class on top of having, like you said, Zen, that self-PA.
Yeah. So I guess my question to you both is, what do we want to see out of the Mystics on both sides to really stand out apart from your opponent?
It's definitely tough because if you notice, everyone's really tanky. So it's not even as simple as, okay, we get that one catch and we can burn them down. I'm Yeah, I think it's tough. Like, I do think the first targets you go for, or if you're on Whomsbeata's side, to take out the Sork first if you can, which is kind of happening midway through, or going for the Megu midway through. But even after that, it's still tough. Do you try to go for the Mystic? I would probably try and CC the Mystic if you're Whomsbeata's. But with a Warrior Mystic, that's really tough to deal with, honestly.
Okay. Do you guys think that, Bucket of Water is able to turn this around, or are we going to see...
Ooh, what do we think, Zen?
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to come down to, so far we're 2 for 2 now. The first DPS to go down, it just kind of snowballs from there, right? So once again, just pressure on the Sork or pressure on the Mega. Who can keep up it?
Right.
All right, and we have the next match race. Let's hop in and see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think if I was the Sork, it's really tough. You're fighting 3 classes that are just, how do I get to you? And then once there's DPS, am I going to get grabbed? All right, looks like Jailer is going to approach slowly. They are going to try and engage right here, but it looks like Jailer is put on the ground. He is tanky, though, so he only goes down to 80% HP. It looks like one of them is down to 46%.
Bunny's already
That's DJ Danny, and he already used his V.
That's not good.
That's not good this early on the match.
That cannot be good, yeah.
All right, Godafeets is about to get back up onto his feet, get off the ground, and he's rejoining the fight. No V's burned out from him. Looks like Sork still has E buff. I probably... actually, well, he still has his V, so he could probably save onto it. At this point, since DJ Danny has used his V, if I were them, I'd be putting all of my focus onto the Megu. At that point, you know he doesn't have V. If you all E-buff and try to take him out, you'll put yourself in a 3v2 situation and keep that lead. Now, it looks like a lot of fighting is going down here.
He is spending the entirety of this match chasing that Megu. There's nothing else on his mind.
Should. And if you look right here, Jailer is just on grab V, and it's not enough damage, but he's just trying to keep him off his teammates, which is pretty important, too. All right, you can see both teams were trying to reset right there. Jailer is going to go back in, but everything just kind of repositioned towards the center of the arena. Someone's going to have to find DJ Danny. Looks like there is a lot of fighting right here. There was a V. Yep, there's Makoto's V. There's actually 2 Vs down on Bucket of Water's side and only 1 V down on Whomsbeata, so they're going to have to be very careful at this point. Boogeyman's going to have to find some way to find a grab, but it looks like Makoto is taken out early, unfortunately.
Makoto is out.
Oh, man, and right here, you already know that the Awakening Megu's V is down, so at this point, I feel like you're going to have to do all or nothing play and try to get him, but if DJ Bunny is playing it safe, he'll play from range. He does try to go for that Foxflare Barrage, doesn't quite find it, and is just casting from range. Really smart play, throwing in chip damage for his teammates. He knows that he has that breathing room to have that luxury to just dump in damage. Poppy Avatar is going to keep his presence here, keep his teammates safe in front line for them as he chases down his target. Unfortunately, Boogeyman is put on the ground. He doesn't have his V, and that's going to be it. 3v1, and it's, like...
I've seen it done before.
Have you?
I've seen maybe not from an Awakened Mystic,
preliminary, who did it? Megu did do it in the preliminaries.
Yes.
What I'm really surprised to see is during that round, right, about a minute in, Bunny's still playing so aggressive, right?
Just really
it's in the bag. It's already a guaranteed victory, but you could just see the confidence. They're not thinking about this match. They're thinking about semifinals already.
Yeah.
Like, they already know.
They're playing really well together. Like
really
you said,
crazy.
that V was down, and DJ Bunny did not care. He was still right in.
Yeah, so first set goes to Whomsbeata's without the space. Congratulations. You guys played really well. And, of course, Bucket of Water came out with some really hot stuff, too. But they just, was missing that X factor.
Honestly, like I said, it's tough. That team composition specifically for Sork, it really is. It's a tough one. But congratulations to both teams. Thank you so much for participating. That was a really good way to start off the tournament.
Definitely exciting.
Really good matches. No one just popping out of the fight, just...
Almost happened.
Almost happened. Almost happened.
Off camera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just casually losing half of your health bar. It's all good.
It happens.
Yeah.
Was there any fight that you guys wanted to replay? I know round 1 and round 2 in the last few seconds Sen mentioned.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get those 2 plays pulled up here whenever GM Dennis you're ready with that.
Right. I'm not sure when it was in round 1. Maybe just round 2 is fine.
Round 2, at about 6 seconds in, you can kind of see that where the Mystic just shuts off going for the kill and just goes for the self PA. So not so much that was going to be the deciding factor for that round, but I do think, though, in the future, that's something to kind of look for because we will see more Awakening Mystics in the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, let's check out that last minute of round 2.
Yeah, before we hop into replay, though, I'm kind of curious about how you guys felt the Warrior played in this matchup. Seems like he was a steady rock for his team, just being able to provide a big front line.
The Warrior and the Mystic definitely did their job with being durable. And if you notice, no one could DPS either of them. So again, what do you do as a Sork?
Yeah, it's rough.
It's tough.
I know a lot of the times, like, these people are incredibly experienced in PvP, right? So I'm sure within the first round, they can kind of decide who's going to be the target based on how much damage they're doing to them. But Poppy Avatar, I was expecting the warrior to be on the floor significantly more, just with the combo of the range grab and the vacuum for the Mystic. But it almost kind of like, it felt like they just let him do whatever he wanted to do. And there was definitely some deciding the warrior's grabs. I mean, I don't think, maybe Poppy Avatar got CC'd once, twice at most. But he was just body blocking for Bunny and letting Bunny go crazy. So
yeah, super reliable.
Right. Well, let's check out that replay. Why don't you take us through this one, Zen?
Yeah, let's take a look. Yep, last 60 seconds right here. So at the moment, we already see, like, right, if you look over there on whom's been 1v on each side, all E-buffs have already been popped. Motoko backing off, all pressure on Motoko. You see Poppy Avatar just kind of going for that last grab, seeing if we can finish him off. Poppy Avatar misses the grab. Right. Mystic's doing everything they can do to peel. Now, the Hash in particular, I was actually surprised on just how much damage he was able to take. I mean, there was no reason to focus him whatsoever. Jailer on the ground, V. See Jailer's HP incredibly low, matches at 39 seconds remaining. Somebody actually gets picked off here, and I think it's Motoko. Motoko's now out. So at this point, Hooms is already in the lead 3-2. HP can still play a difference, right? God of Feet sitting healthily at 47%. Boogie at 16. Now watch Jailer in the next couple seconds. He gets really low right here. Now he's still, at this point, he could pee, but he's still saving it. Boogie backs off to try to get some HP. Everybody knows the round is not going to end with a full wipe. But watch him just PA in the middle of this next 10 seconds. Right in the middle of everybody. Poppy Avatar, big Boogie. It's like it's slowing down a little bit for me. There it is. Now watch for the PA. Now the PA back up full HP. Let me see it. Jailer in the middle, everybody right now. Avatar back, everyone's just trying to do that range play. And there's the self PA right there in the middle. Now that self PA also adjusts the way you move, right? It actually pushes you away from Jailer. So it
that's right.
I get a PA, I get HP, but I also push you away from myself and my teammates. So like I said, may not have been a deciding factor in this particular fight, but I do think that's going to be a game changer. Awakening Mystic actually winds up using that in the future.
Yeah, definitely just methodical and making sure that they can lock in the win with that play.
I agree. Now that we kind of look back at it, and now that Zen had mentioned about the Warrior, I actually do agree, Zen. It did feel like the Warrior, Jailer, was able to do whatever he wanted.
Poppy Avatar.
We noticed, Poppy Avatar. If we looked at that replay, and when that Sork had to back off and go into Nightmare, Poppy Avatar was just looking at him just for chasing. Free, not worried about being grabbed by the
no pressure on him at all.
No pressure on him at all. And for that Sork, there's honestly nothing you can do when a warrior is walking at your face.
Yeah, it's really scary.
If you don't have the damage to trade even, it's what do I do? And with him on top of the Sork that whole time, look, what did we say happened? Stam running out.
Exactly.
Cooldown's running out. He used his one escape, no V, and that sets everyone else up, especially that Megu, to just go ballistic on him for that few seconds, and there's nothing that he can do about it. And I feel like
when you have that comp
that really well.
Of one DPS on each side, right? You have that Nightmare utility for that Sork, but you may be alive when that's a Nightmare, but you're no longer doing DPS to the enemies. And we saw what happens when you don't have a DPS in your team. You're kind of just in a ball, a wing on top of one another, but there's no deciding factor on who's actually going to wind up. No damage. No one's going to die from it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely some good stuff coming out there. I definitely feel for Motoko there. It's not easy decision to be there.
I know exactly how he felt. He's definitely like, what do I do? Because he played really well. Don't get me wrong. Motoko played extremely well and survived for a really long time. But what do you do as a Sork versus those two? And then on top of that, your only target, which is the Megu, has a lot of mobility to get away from you. So that's just tough.
Okay. Let's go ahead and check out the bracket, as we do have a winner for the first round. Hooms Beta is going to be moving on to semifinals. Congratulations. And coming up here, we also have another Hooms Betas.
Another Hooms Betas.
There's a little space in between, but, same Hooms, same Betas.
Hooms space Betas versus the Proof.
The Proof. This one's going to be a really, really cool match here. I know that Zen is looking forward to this one. So let's go ahead and pop open the teams to see what we're working with here. All right, and on the left side, we have Hooms Space Betas with Kick on the Awakened Mystic, Silver rocking that Awakened Valkyrie, I believe, and Bull playing the Succession Vicar. Succession Valkyrie? Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I know he can play both specs, but he is known for Succession.
Gotcha. And on the right side, we have the Proof with Sebs on the Awakening Sorceress, Fields on the Awakening Striker, and Proteus on that Succession Berserker. So it seems like we have a Berserker on both sides this time. Do we have any thoughts about how this is going to play out?
I mean, looking at this right now, like this screenshot right here is going to be going through for quite a while, no matter what outcome it is. As far as like the console community itself, incredibly small, right? As far as like the grand scheme of things, right? So everybody in here we all know each other. So anybody watching right now from the console community knows at least somebody within this fight. So there's going to be a lot of people rooting for both sides for sure. But if you notice from Whom's Bitas that they don't really have like a designated DPS. So I'm kind of curious to see if that is going to be beneficial to them. But I think they're one of the only teams that does not have a DPS.
Now,
I see.
No DPS is definitely a concern. However, when you look at all of those classes, what do we have on Whom's Beta sides? We have Mystic, we have Valkyrie, and we have Berserker. On the Proof side, we have Sork, Striker, and Berserker. What does the Sork do versus Valkyrie, Berserker, or Mystic? So although they don't have a DPS, in this matchup, it might actually be okay. Now, you did say the Proof those players were previous champions from the first tournament.
Defending champs, yep.
Defending
Correct,
champs.
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see how the Sork, Sabs specifically, overcomes that team comp. And I'm interested to see how his teammates back him up in that scenario. Are we going to see another scenario where it feels like the Sork is getting run down? Or is that Striker plus the Berserker going to be able to fend them off? Now, my question is, was the Berserker Awakening or Succession?
I believe both Berserkers are going to be rocking the Succession spec. Just, very reliable, rock their team, super aggressive specs to run. So, yeah, I feel like, personally, I want to see what the Valkyrie can bring to the table. I know in my own experience fighting with Valkyries in the open world has been very, very...
It's a nope. Leave me out of that one.
Yeah, it's just, you can have a spot. It's fine.
It's your spot now. I was going to go to Ben anyways.
Yeah. So I really want to see what the Awakening Valk, the Succession Valk, also very scary with what she can do. I want to see what she can bring to the table. And Zen, do you have any prediction for this match that we're about to see here? I know you want to see the underdogs come out, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm really, though, before I kind of get into, because I'm definitely going to be rooting for I would love to see a new champion come out from this tournament.
I'm rooting for Proof.
You got to give credit where credit's due, right?
Yeah.
So Proof, though, is the exact same from years ago. So for them to kind of come together, these people know each other. This is not just like, hey, do you want to come to this tournament? And like these guys fight every single day, whether they're in the same guild.
They came out of retirement for this.
Yes, exactly. I mean, they've been floating around right within the community, but I mean, some of them have been continuing on through other guilds, fighting each other or still fighting alongside one another. So the communication for that team is probably going to be the best in the tournament as far as just like overall
communication.
Yeah.
Especially with people that you know how to play with for a long time. That synergy is hard to, forge and replace.
Yeah, it's almost natural, right? You kind of know how your teammates around you are going to play, so you know how you can play off of them.
Right.
But also, though, in Whom's benefit, they're the only two teams, I believe, that has a heal on their team.
Right.
With the Valkyrie. There is a caster in the quarters as well, but that heal can immediately change the fight.
Right. No kidding. Sure. And on top of that, was the Mystic Awakening or Succession? Do you remember?
I think both Mystics will be on Awakening spec.
All right. Well, I do believe the round is ready, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, like you said, those heals from the Valk's going to be... Honestly, the heals from all three of them. Like you have the...
everyone has
heals, so if they play for HP, they're definitely going to take the cake. Now, it looks like everyone is moving towards the patio, hiding behind it while they just get things situated.
They did this during the quarters as well.
Yeah, it looks like Kick is trying to go in. You can see the Zerker jumping towards the Sork, creating pressure. Sork's backing off, but he's not running away too much. Striker is going to dash around. Berserker does manage to find a grab.
Coming out.
He is going to do a long extension for the grab. Looks like that V is going to come out last minute. That's already V down. Or not quite, actually, I believe. Looks like Striker has used that E buff, and remember, he's able to walk an SA right at your face. Menacingly while that E buff is activated. Now, it looks like no HP bar. Actually, Seb's HP bar is really low, 54%.
From Seb's.
And he does have his E down. Ooh, and it looks like Seb's is put on the ground. He does manage to get back up. He is going to reposition, but if he goes too far, he's not going to be able to help his teammate. Hopefully, a Dream of Doom comes out. Looks like leg drop goes on the ground. Feels doesn't quite find something just yet. Kick is trying to look for something. It looks like the fight is slowly resetting. Silver coming back in. Their shield toss doesn't quite find someone. Looks like Kick is going to activate that E-buff there on the Awakening Mystic. He is going to try and back up his teammates, but the Berserker is constantly being annoyance on the battlefield. Zerker on the ground, but with his high HP and defensive
down
stats,
to 80%.
he's not going to get taken out. Yep, there's that 80% HP decrease. Feels is trying to find some sort of catch, but he's not finding something, but no one's able to take him out either. Now, just pay attention. Whomsby does with the space do have all of their Vs still, while 1V is down on Sebs. So Sebs is going to have a lot of pressure on him right now. Looks like he did go back into Nightmare. He is coming out and using Crows. Looks like there was... Oh, sorry, I thought there was
Looks like a grab on Kick again.
Right. Looks like that Berserker is going to roar, doesn't quite find something. He's just going to run across the battlefield. That stun doesn't quite connect with anyone, and let's see what he could do. It looks like that fight is constantly centering around Sebs, but fortunately for his teammates, he has not been taken out yet. Everyone's doing a phenomenal job just staying with each other, but there is a grab going out onto field. So many people on the ground. There's the Grim swirling. So many HP bars dropping.
Grab on.
But not quite yet. Silver
still
is
2
at
E-buffs
6%.
saved from Hooms. Could they a late E-buff from the Zerker right there? Silver actually having to V outright. Still 2 Vs available from all Vs have been, or all E-buffs have been popped from the proof as well. So Seb's kind of playing a bit more passive into the 50%.
Wow, Sabs was taken out, 30 seconds left, 50% HP, like Zen said. Now that's going to be a 2v2 situation. One of the DPS is taken out, and they're going to be fighting 2 tanky classes. Let's see, the Zerker grabs the other Zerker. He said, nothing personal, it's just business. He puts him on the ground with the extension grab, but it looks like as he ends the grab, Bull gets put on the ground. Doesn't need to use his V quite yet. He's the only one with his V on his team. Looks like the Berserker and Mystic do still have their Vs with 7 seconds left. They're probably just going to stall, use their Vs, and just play off of HP, and I believe that is going to be a draw.
So in a situation where we do have a draw, we'll basically have both teams earn that point.
Okay.
So coming up on this next round, it's going to be basically an even set, but it might come down to where the one team takes away 2 wins, and then it's just over like that because of the point that we have right here. Very interesting stuff that we just saw coming out from both sides. Do you guys have any highlights that you guys want to call back on?
Yeah. So although it was a draw, we did notice like Sebs, he got focused hard. His V got put down early, but despite the V being down early, he was actually able to still contribute a lot to his team. He didn't back off like fully. He disengaged, but he still stayed close by to still toss in damage. But yeah, if he can survive longer, I feel like Proof does have a chance. What are you thinking, Zen? Also, let's go ahead and get the round started while we give our input for this.
I mean, just based on the what the initial strategy is going to be for Proof is to really play that HP. They know their enemies are incredibly tanky, and they're really relying on that. We didn't really see much happen until that 50% HP drop, and then everyone falling over. So
right, and you can see
the
right here,
late game E-buffs and playing for that 50% is going to be deciding.
Gotcha.
Looks like Feels going through that patio, tries to find something, is going to use Mass Destruction, doesn't quite find it, tries to go for that somersault, and then he does the torpedo spiral, doesn't find anything just yet. It looks like Kick is on the ground, but again, he is tanky, so he can just stand back up. And something I really notice here is Kick and his teammate, I believe Bull, are doing a really good job at, just when they're moving around the battlefield, they're moving together. All right, looks like Silver is going to sit here menacingly. He does throw out Shield Toss, doesn't quite find something, but he is going to chase that Berserker. But the Berserker is just a little bit too fast. He is going to use some support. Sebs playing the outskirts. Of course, he is running away from Berserkers. That is a very scary class. Any second longer and you might be grabbed trying to do a trade with SA. And right here, he is forced to go into Nightmare while he tries to reset his cooldowns. There is Berserker on the ground. Feels is trying to find something. He goes for that uppercut, doesn't quite connect, sticking right towards a Zerker. 2 grabs running at you. Anything could happen. They're right there. Looks like Feels does find the grab onto Bull. Bull probably isn't going to use V here. He is put on the ground, not re-CC, down to 80% HP. Nothing quite yet. Feels is trying to stay on top of that Berserker just to take some pressure off of his sword. Things are going good right here. Kick doesn't have his E-buff, but his 2 teammates do, and everyone on the Proof side has their E-buffs and their Vs. Looks like there's going to be a lot of SA damage trades right here. Velk is going to jump in the center. It looks like Bulls finds another grab onto the enemy Berserker, not giving him a chance at all to grab someone else. We love to see it. All right, and right here again, everyone with a lot of gear in this fight, and more pressure is going to be put on Sebs. Sebs is doing a good job not greeting too much. Silver put on the ground once again. A lot of damage is going to be thrown out here. There's a lot of spends, a lot of fire going out. Is anyone going to use their V quite yet?
And
not quite yet.
The moment all HP went down to 50%, you can actually see on the proof side, all 3 E-buffs are popped.
Yeah.
So they're really doubling down on that. We're just going to wait this out and see how the damage trade goes at the end. So I definitely think the first minute or and some seconds in is kind of just trading, kind of building up those CCs for that E-buff at the end.
Yeah.
Right, you can see right here, yeah, there's a lot of CCs going out, but everyone's just really tinky. There's no Vs that have gone down quite yet, despite the amount of grabs. Seb's doing a really good job just playing the outskirts, and with 20 seconds left in the fight, looks like things are going to come down to HP. There's actually a V coming out on Feels on the Mystic, but with 13 seconds left, this might be in Whom's side. Again, Whom's does have a lot of heals, so they could play for HP right here. The Proof is going to have to find some damage trades or something just to give them a chance to win this next round. With 3 seconds left, who is going to take the cake? It does look like Whom's Betas is going to take that win.
Unexpected, pulling up with the 2 zips so far. Whom's Betas really coming out and showing us what they can do.
That's
really
the
crazy.
2-1, and yeah, with that fight going on for such a long time, if you're against healers, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
It seems like when we're seeing like the Sorceress play in these fights. Sorry to interrupt you, Zen. I just wanted to get this out. It seems like the Sorceress is like kind of on like a ticking time bomb. She has to get something done quickly, and if she isn't able to do something quickly, it's just
off.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before she loses all her stamina. She's in big trouble.
Yeah. Oh, let's get to the next match and see if the Proof can prove themselves and take back their crown.
I mean, really, there's only 2. Each team has their own win condition, right? So the Proof cannot out an opponent before the HP takes effect, right? So the Proof is really playing the clock, where that works in Whom's benefit because they have that heal at the end that they can kind of abuse, that they get that HP benefit at the end.
Right. One thing I do like is that Bull is constantly putting pressure on the other Zerker just so the Sorc can have a little bit of breathing room. I'm starting to wonder if they do want to focus Silver, even though he's tanky, but it might be the easiest target to grab. It's just really tricky because any target that gets grabbed here, once you focus DPS, someone else is going to get grabbed on the opposing side.
Unless I'm on round 1, Silver was the only person to fall, right, for Whom, so you may be onto something.
All right, looks like Silver is going to play it right here. He's constantly supporting his teammate. Sabs is playing the outskirts a little bit, staying close by. He is trying to find some sort of catch. Eruption doesn't connect. There's the Tendrin Jill. Just doing a little bit of essay damage trades. Bulls is going to jump right there next to the Mystic. He is going to run around and create some pressure while staying in the outskirts. Sabs playing it safe, not getting CC'd just yet. And yeah, there's just a lot of running around and a lot of trading.
These guys are just mosh pitting in the middle, seeing if they can find any openings in the enemy team's armor, but it seems like everyone is doing a really good job of staying protected.
Right, and there is Silver grabbed again. Really good job by Proteus backing up a Sorc. And yeah, everyone's going to go down to about 80% HP. Both sides are really even. And again, like we saw last match, the Proof is definitely going to want to try and take someone out. Bulls is on the ground, but they're not going to focus DPS on him. Really wise choice. They're going to have to find something. And like we said earlier, that might just have to be the Valk. Feels is stunned right here. He isn't put on the ground just yet. He actually gets back up. Silver went on the ground, I believe, back there, but no one was around to try and focus him. Vs are still up. No e-buff from Kick. Two e-buffs on Whom's side. All e-buffs on the Proof side. And with 1 minute coming down right now, there is going to be the 50% HP decrease. Let's look at those e-buffs on the right side. Yep. And like you said, Zen, there is all 3 e-buffs coming right out. And now it's time to go ham. A lot of damage being thrown out. We saw the DOD explode right there. There's the Vacuum, the Mystic. A lot of damage trading. There's the Torpedo Spiral. No CCs on the ground quite yet. 1v down to Bull. Maybe this is the time to try and put some pressure on him. Kick trying to find something. Staying on his feet. Proteus not finding a grab. Oh, it looks like Kick actually grabbed him.
Looks like grabs on both sides, though.
Grabs on both sides, even grabs. Looks like Kick goes on the ground. There is 1v going out from Phils. There's 20 seconds left. And again, it's going to come down to HP. They're going to have to try and find some trades. Feels Sabs, they both have to play safe.
Keep an eye on that. There's the heal from Sun.
I see. Bull is getting awfully low right now. Let's see if they can hold it down.
Really low. This might be in Proof's favor. Oh, And there we go. Zerker on the ground. Silver trying to find some DPS. A lot of damage trading going in. There's 3 seconds, 2, 1. Who's going to take the win? And this is going to be the proof.
This is going to come down.
And it's going to come down to round 3 in the finals. We love to see that.
The match is definitely delivering. We're having our first 2-2 Game 5 match here. It's really heating up. What do you guys think needs to come out from the proof to really lock down this final match here, or this round coming up here?
Honestly, it's really tough, but I do think there is a really good... I think it's really good that they're going for the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Just a bit, because that Valkyrie does have that heals. If they can get that heal, because I believe that heal is, correct me if I'm wrong, around a minute long, if I recall correctly. That might just be the bomb, though. Either way, getting that heal off, making the Valk burn their heal early on, before the end, they won't be able to play for HP in that way, or they'll have 1 less heal for their team. So really wise decision. I do think they're going to have to keep doing that while going for smart damage trades. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't think they have the luxury of overcommitting either, because that's when someone's going to get grabbed and put on the ground. Luckily for Proof side, Whom's Vitas doesn't have DPS classes. So as long as they can keep Sebs alive.
Huh? Do they need it though?
We'll see.
Well, we're about to find out.
We're about to find out.
Let's hop back in.
All right, let's check out that final match. Oh,
are we ready?
Oh, we didn't see that.
Looks like we need another moment, and we're in.
And we're in. All right. I love that Zen mentioned it, but yeah, at that 1 minute, actually 1 minute and 1 second, all 3 E-buffs come out instantaneously from the Proof side. Really, really smart, because that's the only time you're going to make a play. It looks like Fields is going to run down the center of the map. He is going to try and jump through. Doesn't quite find a connection there. He's trying to look for that grab. He does manage to find the grab onto Bull. Bull is put on the ground, but it looks like no damage is going to be done. Probably better to focus someone else after that. Grab is going to be coming out. Sork is off to the side. He is going to do just fine. Eruption doesn't quite connect, but he is going to dance around the fight. Bull trying to find something, dashing towards his teammate. Doesn't quite find that grab, but he's going to stay in there trying to circle around. Striker comes back in the center. Will he find a grab on someone else? Not quite.
Yeah, it seems like they're just tossing damage out during the mid round.
Oh, actually, it looks like Sebs was caught by the Zerker. Is he going to be forced to V? He is extended grab. Sebs might have to V right here. Yeah, and that's going to be his V early on. 80% HP decrease coming through. That is going to be a tough situation to deal with, but we saw Sebs in the first round deal with it quite well, so let's see what they pick up here. Sebs is going to play a lot more defensively. Makes complete sense. He can't afford to take any risks right now. It's all up to him to survive and damage trade. Feels put on the ground. Let's hope he doesn't have to V. He does manage to get back up. And it looks like he is going to try and run towards someone and try and find a target. Silver kind of free just to cast right here. Let's see if someone can try and...
You see the Mystic just hunting Sebs right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what he just has to do. Sebs is forced to retreat back into Nightmare and keep himself safe. You can see Kick is trying to sniff that V right here. Doesn't quite find it. The fight is going to happen towards the patio again. You can see... oh, that's Guido. I didn't even notice that was Guido. We love Guido. All right, Guido is going to go forward on that Zerker. He is going to spin, doesn't find a grab just yet, but he is going to back up his teammate. Looks like he does get put on the ground. Is there going to be enough DPS? He is double KD. They can try and burst him down, but he is really tanky. I'd be curious to see what his build is. Now, Guido does find that grab onto Silver. Again, really good move. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to back up. The Sork does jump right in. Is he going to...
We're at that 1 minute mark again. 50% HP.
Mark, there is the 50% HP. Are we going to see E-buffs just quite? Yep. There is the E-buff from the Zerker and from Fields as well, and from the Sorceress. Let's see if they can get a DPS trade. Remember, everyone on Whom's Vita side all has their E-buffs, but there is a ton of damage going right down. And Silver actually gets taken out of the fight, leaving it with the 3v2. He doesn't manage the V quite in time. Kick is getting DPS heavily, but he does Spiral Torpedo back in. He's not going down quite yet. There's the vacuum. Not quite pointed towards the enemy, but it's okay. A little bit of range. There's the DOD coming down. It does manage to connect to Guido, leaving him KD'd. Not enough damage, but that's okay. They can't afford to do reset. Now there is 30%, 30 seconds left in the fight. It is a 3v2, and I don't think they're going to be able to afford to put any pressure on the Sork for this one, even though he doesn't have his V.
Yeah, it seems like Proof is going to play this one safe and just preserve life right now because they have a win in the bag. It seems like their HPs are all topped up, and they don't really have to do too much to see if Whom's Vitas can make something happen in the last 10 seconds.
All right, there is 10 seconds left, and yes, Kick is getting DPS down to 20%, 23% HP, 40% on Bull, and with that, Proof is going to prove themselves true. They are the previous champions, and just like that, they are going to win that match. And let me tell you, that was almost looking not so good for Proof, because Sebs lost his V at the beginning of the match. Yeah. Honestly, let's go and check out that last match one more time. That That was a really good one.
The last match we had, round 5, right?
Yeah. The last one we just watched.
So while we're getting that replay ready, why don't we talk a little bit about how these teams, like, it seems like the team that has tenure with each other is just more confident in how they're playing. It seems like even without a V, they're just hanging there in the
Sebs
fight.
did not care. He's like, I don't have V. And honestly, low key, him not having V might have set them up for success because they put so much pressure on the Sebs that it felt like Silver was getting grabbed out of nowhere because they were trying to chase down Sebs, and they were able to afford like focusing down someone like Silver first, and he got taken out before he could even beat.
Yeah, so as we jump into this replay, Zen, do you want to walk us through what happens here?
This round is going to be remembered for a very long time. I mean, there was one thing. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be talking about this within the console community for a very. I mean, it's everything that you would want from this tournament, right? You have two very. I mean, these. I guarantee right now, as far as the community goes, somebody was voting for one or the other to take this tournament. So for them to be quarterfinals and guarantee one of them being eliminated, I mean, the momentum that Proof has right now, I'm sure right now in their head they're feeling that their toughest opponent has been eliminated. The confidence from the Proof is just through the roof right now. But here's the thing: why this round is going to be remembered forever is nobody mentioned it. Silver died out Ving.
Oh wait,
he did not V.
Which
is did we say? Okay, maybe I missed it. He did not V, which you'll see at the end too as well. Is like that is in the at this level of PvP. Those mistakes cannot be had, right? So Sebs made a mistake early on, right, and wound up getting having to V relatively early, but then changes and plays kind of more passively and knows that he understands that this isn't his moment right now, right? At this point, they're kind of just chasing each other around, trading back and forth. I was trying to figure out during this time what was the mind of the Proof right now, and the entire time I noticed that the main target for them during these kind of like the lull, but before that 50% HP drop, was actually Kick, which I know that like we can kind of see now, right? Hindsight 2020, that Silver did look like it was probably going to be the better target, but I noticed that Kick actually had more aggro on him than Silver did. But a win's a win. But right here, this is when it's going to pick up, right? Last 60 seconds. But watch the damage on Silver. I mean, really for everybody. Huge grab on him, holding to that 50%. And
remember, Silver's tanky, so he's probably not expecting to get blown up here.
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's no way he could expect the amount of damage that went off. But everybody, I mean, I think it was just like, look, this is the last round. This is my opportunity right here. Watch, I got to be in the fight, right? And everyone just kind of went in and dropped their entire kit, and who wins, right? I mean, it's uncapped content at the end of the day, dude. There you go. Heals gets the last hit on Silver.
I think like 5 abilities came out all at once. Like, that's hard to predict for. Like,
it's just a blink. Just
all the hard
and
hitting
for Fields
to
insult to injury too, because Fields gets the final hit on Silver, and he's so in the zone that he knows at this point, right? When that banner popped up that Silver is dead, he didn't just check out and say we won. He had already grabbed another opponent. Banner showing that Silver had been killed was even gone. So I mean, just the focus and confidence that team has. I mean, I just don't know who's going to take him down.
Right. No, they play very well together. You know, one thing I really want to highlight here that I noticed, you mentioned that Kick was getting focused, yes, but also Proteus, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but the Berserker on the Proof side was constantly grabbing Bull. And even though Bull's really tanky, some people might make the mistake of, oh, he's really tanky, there's no point in even trying to waste a grab on him. But no, what that allows is for Sebs to have so much breathing room, so much opportunity to be like, okay, the Zerker is getting grabbed. My teammate has my back. I'm the DPS, and I can evade damage, and he can go in. And that really helps. That creates a lot of pressure on the enemy team when you can't just do whatever you want. One thing to notice, as right before Silver was going down on one little skirmish before, I think Kick got put on the ground, and Sebs did a good job at not greeting to go in and chip damage, because he knows he's not going to kill him even if he follows up. And the moment he was on the ground, Hooms beat us instantly, ran at him, and he was already like disengaging, knowing that I can't go for this damage trade even though this guy's on the ground. I have to get out of here. And with, like I said earlier, even though he's getting focused heavily, that's actually in his team's benefit, because
he's
notice how
so much pressure from the enemy team.
The enemy, it's an aggro, and with that comes like, oh, you might Sebs isn't doing damage, but he's providing a lot for his team, giving them the capabilities to go for silver and grab someone else.
Definitely.
And I actually feel like that was like the main deciding factor of what helped them win.
Wow. Okay. Zen, do you have any
There's,
closing thoughts about that?
There's a lot of different ways to play, because BDO, as far as its opportunity for PvP, there's a wide variety, right? You have Node Wars, you have Siege, you have OP, you have AOA, but each team needs to understand that this tournament isn't, can I beat this person in Node Wars? Can I beat this person in 1v1's open world, right? At the end of the day, you're in a tournament, 7 minutes on the clock with HP diminishing the entire time. So what you're saying as far as like getting that CC and understanding like, hey, I can go out and do damage to this guy, but is it going to win me the match? And being able to kind of make that connection to what is worthwhile
in the blink of an eye,
yes,
by the way, like in the moment,
to just move over, right? Because I mean, at the end, you can sit there and do as much damage war, but your fort is going to be whether or not you win or not. So in this, similar to how Armin, right, took the last tournament that he wound up winning, right, is he understands, right? He's like, look, I understand that my HO, I know I'm not going to do much until the 2-minute round. I'm going to be tanky as I can get. I'm going to pop that E buff. People did it similar with Taybacks as well. Maybe preserving your E's, E buffs as well. We've seen it all, right? So they can differentiate open world PvP and AOA are going to be wind up making those plays that wind up winning them those rounds.
Definitely.
Right. No, I agree. So congratulations to Proof and Speedas. You guys played extremely well too. Thank you so much for being in this tournament. One last key thing to highlight. I did say it a little bit earlier, but I really loved seeing that feels in Proteus. If you notice, sometimes it's really hard to keep up with the Succession Berserker running Mach 10 across the screen. But from what I noticed, Fields was darting first, right there with him, like constantly. Like they were moving together as a unit, fully confident that Sebs could handle himself and, you know, handle that pressure. And with those two running at you, imagine just you're a Valk. Even though you're a Valk and you're tanky and you have the heal, how do you deal with a Striker and a Berserker running at your face with the limited mobility that you have? And I feel like they really capitalize on that. And they just, like you said, Zen, these three have been in previous tournaments. They play together. They know how each other plays. And right there, that synergy is going to be a deciding factor to win, even when they have a Sork who's fighting a disadvantage versus another team comp.
Yeah, definitely. You could see how comfortable they are playing with each other, and just having that trust between your teammates is super important when it comes down to these like last minute deciding factors in the game 5. You know, it really comes down to that. And
then like one more thing, I forget that I'm actually on a console stream right now, so I have to like make the connection that these players are not only moving around and playing really well, y'all are doing this on a controller. That's crazy. Like you guys are really killing it. You guys are so skilled for that. Like, you know, props to you. Like keep it up.
That's the bread and butter for them. So I mean, I'm not too surprised. You got some gamers on all platforms. So
I can't even imagine playing Sork on a controller. Already on PC, I'm like, I feel like I'm playing piano. The controller must be going crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
so
I will say it's definitely shared on both ends, right? So as far as like the controller to keyboard, it's almost opposite, right? Because I play on console, but I play them both with controller, and the thought of sitting there using like I promise you, these players have been playing with controller long enough to the point where you don't really think about what you're doing. It just kind of like this point, right?
Yeah, so, definitely second nature. Yeah. So with that being said, let's pull up the brackets to check out what has been updated. Congratulations to the Proof for pulling into the second semifinals. Really close, actually. So, you know, we got our...
I am loving this tournament so far. These are some hype matches. They're not just like 3 wins and done. All of these players who join us today are very skilled.
Yeah, we definitely got our weight in gold there from that matchup. So, really cool to see. I think we will be moving on to the right side of the bracket now with the Bloodline and Sanin coming up next. And then after that, we'll be having DSR and Peligro show us what they can do.
All right.
So, let's pull up the next match coming up here. We have the Bloodline with Juez on the Awakened Assassin, I believe, Luminex on the Awakened Sorceress, and Dylan on the Awakened Striker. On Sanin's side, we have a crowd favorite. This is going to be Beastly LaFleur. This is your resident 1v3 clutch artist with the Awakened Megu. We all remember that scene from the prelims where he just immediately just locked in, styled on the enemy team, and was able to pull in that win for his team. Confei on the Awakened Sorceress as well, and Qualified playing that Awakened Hashashin. So it seems like we kind of have like a little bit of a mirror matchup here with just the Megu and Awakened Striker offsetting each team comp. Zen, do you have any thoughts you have to share with you know, how this is going to play out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you mentioned it with Beastly, but I mean, once again, I just got to reiterate, he was the only to get a 1v3 on that Awakening Megu during preliminaries. So, I mean, I'm telling the spotlight is on him. His team is riding on whether or not he's going to be able to make plays like that. Right? Does the pressure get to him? Does he slow down? Because he felt incredibly confident in the preliminaries. So, what a hype weekend from that. That is definitely a moment that we're all going to remember. But also, that team is one of the teams that has a double DPS comp, and we've mentioned a few times, right? We've seen that the triple tank didn't wind up working. I think that was the only team that was running that. So they're wind up double DPS, make a huge difference. Are they gonna be able to take advantage of that early few minutes within the AOA, or are they're gonna have to e-buff late as well and try to make those last second plays? I think they're gonna have the opportunity to take some.
Okay, yeah,
We
and I
shall
guess
see.
it comes down to philosophy at the end of the day, right? Some people
But
say
who we
the
voting
best-
for?
Who we voting for?
First, Vaha. You're not getting out of this one. Who
I want to see Beastly do some insane plays again. I want to see him show us what he can do, in the heat of the moment. But I also want to see what comes out from the side of Bloodline. So I think this time I'm gonna play the other side and see if
Ooh.
Bloodline can bring home the win here.
I think I'm gonna go with the other side. I believe that was Sonnen.
Sonnen is the side with Beastly,
Yeah.
Confei, and Qualified.
Yeah, and they have the Mystic.
So both team comps are kind of looking the same for this match. They both have Awakened Sorceress and an Awakened Assassin.
Mhm.
The only difference being that Beastly is going to be rocking the Awakened Megu for Sign-In, and Bloodline's going to have Awakened Striker in Dealing.
Now, frontline classes are really good to having a 3v3 team comp, but I do feel like having two skirmishers plus a striker, unless they play on top of that striker, it might actually be worse off for the striker. Because keep in mind, that striker's fighting a Hash, a Megu, and a Sork. If it's just like one skirmisher, then you can focus them down. But what do you do when you have three classes that are constantly able to move away from
Yeah,
you,
the aggression is crazy.
The aggression is crazy.
Zen, do you have any predictions?
I'm gonna have to lean towards Bloodlines on this one, and I mean, really, I wouldn't say necessarily that they have an individual as the best player. I just think their quality between their members is more split out between all three of them, rather than being kind of relying on one person's individual play. I'm gonna say Bloodline for consistency purposes.
Let's go. All right, let's hop into the match and see what happens.
All right, and here we are, the arena of Arsha. We are here at the gates. Looks like we're looking at San inside. Megu is going to take the front line here. He's going straight towards the center. Everyone moving in unison with the Sork in the center of the map. He goes for the spin, doesn't quite find it. Grim Reaper doesn't connect. There's the Megu spinning, just staying in SA. Just trying to find something by constantly going behind his teammates. There's the Foxfire Barrage. Doesn't quite connect. He actually gets put on the ground.
CC'd.
He's double KD'd, but he's actually very tanky. Again, console players are geared. We love to see it.
They've just been sitting on that silver the whole time, man. Geared to the teeth, waiting.
Right, now it looks like actually we missed it. Well, Rebling, 2 Vs went out.
Wow.
Qualified's V, and he's also down to 26%. Confei is down as well, and he doesn't have his V either. He's put KD'd on the ground. He is going to be taken out of the fight early on. Not what you want to see. That Hash is spinning right there, and he is going to have that free reign to fight with his teammates. Qualified put on the ground as well. No V available for him. Is he going to go down? But he does manage to get back up. Beastly going to be DPS. He is finally forced to V. Qualified is going to dance in the center of the map, but he doesn't quite find it. That grab is connected, and he is going to be taken out of the ground, and there is too much pressure. It looks like that striker is putting in work. He said, nah, these hands are for you. You're grabbed and put on the ground, and they're going to most likely take that first round. Not calling it early. Who knows? It is a Megu. Maybe that Awakening
We've
Megu.
seen
We've
this
actually seen it before.
Yeah.
We have seen it before, but it doesn't quite look like Beastly's going to have that breathing room. He is put on the ground, and already a minute and a half in, Bloodline is going to keep their Bloodline and take that win.
Yeah, crazy stuff coming out from both sides. I noticed that when someone would get a CC on one side of the team, immediately their teammates would hop back in and try to appeal for them.
Yeah.
As you see Beastly knock down, or was it he floated someone, and immediately he was grabbed by the striker.
Yeah, he was immediately
just
on the ground.
instantly grabbed and just dealt with immediately. So I really like seeing that coming out from both sides. Just, awareness to help your teammate out and immediately being there to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Zen, do you have any thoughts about what we need to see coming out from the double skirmisher side to see if they can pull us back a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, watching watching how quickly and confidently Bloodline wound up taking it, I think it's a surprise for all of us, especially coming from a match where nothing was really immediately happening until kind of late game. This is only a shift in the other direction where the amount of damage from both teams, the opportunity for damage for both teams is it's night and day. So I'm really kind of curious to see how they wind up coming back for that. I'm hoping they don't go on down. Especially losing a teammate within the first 30 seconds or so is a huge demoralizer. So hopefully that Sork picks himself up and gets ready.
Yeah, well, let's get right into the next match. Or next round, sorry. It is ready. And again, like you said, those Vs going out really early. I don't even know what happened. I think me and Vaha just like, I don't know, we were bantering. We turned to the side, looked back. Oh, 2 Vs are down. That's crazy. When did that happen?
Yeah, must be really scary. He's just, playing the neutral game and then having like no Vs and panic button is immediately hit.
Yeah, looks like that striker is putting in work. He is trying to find some sort of CC there with mass destruction. Confei actually sliced on the ground by the hash session. He is forced to be down to 20% HP. I would not use that nightmare like that. I would definitely hold on to it to reset. Will he be sniffed out of V? Unfortunately, he is, but we did cut away from the camera. He doesn't quite go down. Back to the main fight. Looks like Doolin, don't know if I said that wrong, sorry, does try to find a catch. He does end up somersaulting Beastly. Beastly put on the ground. Is Beastly going to be forced to V? Not quite yet. He actually, really low. But he does still have the V. Let's see if it pays off to do that instead of saving the HP. Now it looks like Beastly is going to try and spin around trying to find something, but he is put on the ground again. He may have to end up being here again. He is put on the ground. There's the grab, but he does end up using the V, and that's going to be 2 Vs down on Sound Inside and 2 Vs down on Bloodlines. They are even right there. Everyone even on E-buffs. Looks like the Sork might have just used hers just now. Let's see if we can find something. This is a scary fight to try and fight in as a sorceress, but let's see if he's able to find something to work with. All right, we are just trying to slowly look for something, not greeting too much. You can see Beastly's trying to find something. I feel like I was surprised he was actually going for the Striker. Striker is put on the ground, but Beastly is put on the ground too. Now remember, he doesn't have his V. Confei is going to be taken out. Beastly taken out as well at the same time. That is not what you want to happen, and it looks like it is a 3v1 once again. Range grab.
No E-buff from Beastly getting taken out from their DPS. That's a problem. Losing that Megu and not taking advantage of that DPS you can put out with that E-buff. Definitely kind of snowballed right there.
Yeah, it might seem like they just don't understand when they can have like an opportunity to really engage and have like a good phase where they can get the damage in on the side of Sanin.
I actually think it's really hard to do that against a Hash, a Sork, and honestly, like I said, well, actually not like I said. I remember originally saying Striker. Either his teammates are going to play on top of him and they're going to play very well, or they're going to be too spread out. And as we're seeing, they're playing very well, moving as a unit. And that Striker, I believe his name was Luminex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luminex is doing...
The Striker is D-Lens, Luminex is the Sorceress.
Gotcha. Striker P-Lens. D-Lens. He's doing a really good job just finding those grabs.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's finding these grabs on an Awakening Megu. If I was an Awakening Megu getting grabbed like that, I would definitely be like, why would you grab in that moment? Like, why did you grab in that second? Like, who does that? Like, he's just him. And yeah.
All right,
let's
so
go and check out the next round.
Jumping into the next round here, Zen, do you have any thoughts about how we can make this double skirmisher comp work? It seems like they have all the offense in the world, but it's just having so much difficulty getting in there and actually getting any kills.
Get Bloodlines comp, right? I mean, it's a full SA rotation comp. Like they, especially with a lead like this, a 2-0 lead, all they have to do is not get CC'd Luminex as I'm talking.
Luminex goes down and Qualified also uses the
to lose that, but he trades the V though. If you see though, they did trade Vs for it, right? So the pressure from Qualified trying to put pressure on Luminex right now actually wound up getting him caught. You see an early EVA from that may not go down this round without using it. He stuns in the middle, winds up being off to the side too as well.
Right, now this is tough. Someone's always off to the side, throwing in CCs, and it caught Beastly. It's caught Qualified 2Vs down on their side. Luminex does have his E-buff activated, but he doesn't have his V. Let's see if they can try and find something. Sorceress is trying to play on the outskirts, doesn't quite find it. And one thing that I didn't even mention out loud until the third round, this is a Succession Sorceress. This is not an Awakening Sork. I did not notice that.
That is my bad. I just assumed that it would be an Awakening Sork, but yeah, that's crazy.
And Luminex is going to go down. There is the Sork being taken out. This does give Soundin a chance of 3v2 right here. Let's see if they could bring this round back. All these down on Sound Inside, but it is a 3v2. There's a 80% HP cut right there. Looks like Qualified is going to be taken out, so it's back to a 2v2. Unfortunate, but Bloodline playing extremely well, just finding every opportunity for a catch that they can. Dylan put on the ground, but they decide to focus down
It's getting
on
close.
Jules
They
instead.
just blew 2 of their teammates up on Bloodlines. It might be doable this round.
Right, now I don't, the striker could 2v1. It's not out of the...
Just striker things, right?
It might happen. And look how much... Well, they're actually getting a down smash reset on him. He is forced to V, so they should be fine now. Let's see if they can try and find the sniff here. He chose a really good place. He is going to reset a little bit, heal himself up a bit, but that 50% HP decrease is going to happen in about 5 seconds here. But we love that he's still playing aggressively. He's trying to find something. There's the roar, doesn't quite find it. Watching out for that Grim, doesn't connect towards them, and he's doing a good job just rotating on these 2 targets. If he does manage to get a catch onto that Sorceress, he may have an opportunity to take him out of the fight. 47 seconds here. He's doing a good job taking on all that damage. Nothing quite connecting on him just yet. He's not put on the ground. He tries to go for that spiral. Doesn't quite connect, but he is going to sustain and disengage here for a bit while the Megu chases him. Is he going to be able to find a grab? I'm not entirely sure, but the Megu's doing a good job just trying to do some SA damage trades. 30 seconds left on the match. Can someone find something? Oh, it looks like the Sorceress is actually taken out of the fight with 20 seconds left in the match. We can't have that happening in the last few seconds. And now this really does give the striker an opportunity. Oh, but he is put on the ground. He is KD'd. There is a lot of damage, but is it going to be quite enough, or is he going to heal in the last few seconds? It looks like he's going to opt in to disengaging. What is going to happen?
Health bars,
he is
gets that draw,
50%
he wins.
HP, and it's the draw.
And he
but
knew
I
it.
believe
He knew it.
But I believe if both teammates get a point, then that means
That's a win.
Bloodline wins that ultimately.
That was
wow.
What a play that was. What a play. He understands the rules of the game, right? We talked about it before, right?
Yeah.
This is not open world PvP. He knows I don't need to kill you to win. And that was the most just blatant obvious. I know what I need to do to get the W today. So that Dylan, by the way, they're going to drive me nuts if I don't correct the name. The name is, I believe, he likes to be called Dylan. So.
It's just Dylan.
What was I saying? What was I saying?
So,
I
don't know what you were saying, but it wasn't
every time you said it, we changed it. But we'll clean it up now. No worries.
Dylan,
especially after a play like that.
After that, mad respect, man.
Yeah, super clean play coming out from Dylan, though, but it just seemed like
it was
when we were watching
a clean
peacefully,
play, but it was also kind of a misplay on Sounding side. There is no scenario where there should be those 2 separated from one another in 2v1 scenario, and then as a sword taking that 1v1 against a striker is just, you're going to get grabbed. And we saw there, he got put on the ground, spiraled through, and leg dropped, and he was just gone out of that fight. And if that didn't happen, unfortunately, Soundin would have had a good chance at trying to reverse sweep. Yeah,
it's a little unfortunate, but I think maybe as one of the newer teams coming out, maybe the communication wasn't exactly locked down there, so they didn't know that they were, just so far apart, and Confe was just singled out by Dylan. I'm falling into your trap as well, Dylan, and just
That's crazy.
Cleaned up. Just
That's crazy.
Immediately wiped off the the face of the earth. It was just too quick, and then by the time Beastly got there, it was already done and dusted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to kind of be in the observer's perspective, right? I mean, the amount of pressure that's got to be on these teams is astronomical, especially in an event like this where, I mean, console does not have these tournaments. So for this to happen, I mean, just to say it now, I mean, the whole community is incredibly appreciative. We love this. Like, console BDO's PvP scene is massive. I mean, just the ratio from people who, we love this. So to have this opportunity is great. But in regards to that, you also want to perform well in the few times that these do pop up. So sometimes because of that, you wind up kind of fumbling on your own actions because you're overthinking it. And that was actually both round 1 and the final round that was decided purely because of the Sonin's sword, right? Because in round 1 at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they wound up losing the sword. Both the V and then also dying right after too as well. And then for the sword to be left alone and get grabbed by Dylan and taken out in a 2v1 scenario is just not okay. So I'm sure, look, all I know is no matter who, if you're the deciding on whether or not you win or lose, whether it's Blasian, Silver on the last match that we saw, or you're the Sork in this match right now, right?
That last match.
Yeah, that would love to see the last round again. On that final round at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, we'll see Dylan actually winds up e-buffing, and you mentioned that the striker, the grabs that he's getting on this Megu are unreal, but you'll notice it about
I would be so upset personally.
No, watch him do it though. Watch him do it. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, you wind up seeing Dylan wind up e-buffing. It's a little bit after he walks forward and just grabs the Megu, like no respect at all. They wind up losing their teammate. we kind of watch. I believe the Hash dies in this round. Oh, no, Luminix dies. You'll see Dylan E-buff. Watch him walk right up to the Megu while E-buffed. Grab him.
Just grab it.
And that's just that you mentioned it. I saw that, and it was right after that. And I'm like, wow, he's really just confident.
He has his
he's gonna
number.
walk up. He has that. When he has that E-buff as a striker, you are the main character. Like you get to run the game for 30 seconds. No one's gonna kill you. No one's gonna CC you. So he took full advantage of it.
Crazy.
Right, and yeah, again, this was a scenario where Sonnen really should have had it in the bag with 2v1ing. But right here, as things start to slow down, let's just appreciate that Dylan did a phenomenal job at rotating his essays, playing it smart, and not really greeting for anything up until the point where he knew he had an isolated target. You see he's low here, and this is a smart play by Sonnen trying to find the V, but if you can't find the V, then
You gotta regroup.
You gotta regroup.
You've got to regroup.
And right here, you can see they are regrouped in the center. I'm actually not quite sure what happens between now and the end.
Well,
So
you'll kind of see it from Beastly's POV since we had the observer just following him around. This guy just went on a little vacation. Like, he just went...
Yeah, I don't understand why he went to this, like, the southern end, like the opposite end. You'll watch him kind of just back off. He had full HP. His E-buff was already popped, so there's no real reason for them to split it all. I'm curious myself, too, as well, to kind of see what forced the Sork to fight the striker solo.
Wow.
Maybe they just agreed to an honorable 1v1. Said,
you know, at first I thought it was.
let me
I think we're
get
past
this.
like bro code in a format like this.
Like, come on, bro. Let me
You know,
have
the
this
honorable
one.
1v1 where you're like, you're on the
He
ground.
just left.
Yeah, look right here.
help
What
me.
is he? He's fighting Blaze.
just-
Like, what is
he
he
just
doing?
left.
It's between now and there. Honestly, right there, BC was probably going for the wraparound, assuming that Dylan was going to go through the patio. But unfortunately, there must have been some sort of miscommunication because the Sork ended up following the striker on the other side. And believe it or not, in that small amount of time, yeah, he was taken out. The striker has a lot of, like, he still has damage. He can still full combo you, and he had that luxury. And unfortunately,
I think here was also a misplay, too, with Dylan's coming down to like around like 39% health. You
And
definitely
Beastly
have to
backing
just...
off.
you have to full
Yeah, you
trade.
have to keep on going.
And with Megu, you do have the pre-awakening kit to at least try and sprinkle some
Exactly.
damage
You
on
can't
them.
just let him heal up and just, play the neutral because they're just going to take the round off
Right.
HP. So, I mean, both sides played really well, but there was some obvious misplays coming out from the Sand side that cost them in the end.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, really good job. Definitely for me, Dylan is the MVP for that one with the
Yeah.
grabs that he put out on an awakening Megu. by the way.
Magnetic with them.
Magnetic.
Crazy.
But that is, let's go ahead and take a look at those brackets. Bloodline is going to move up past the quarterfinals into the semifinals, and then we have DSR versus Peligro.
Yep, you got it.
Awesome.
Coming up. And let's go ahead and bring those teams onto the screen right now if we have it. So on the left side with DSR, we have Dova Queen rocking the Awakened Dracania.
Is this our first match without a Sork in it?
Oh my god, I think it is.
I think, or a Berserker, or
Or a
yeah.
hash.
Or a Mystic
Or
or a
There's a lot of
Hash.
first timers
Yeah.
in this one, yeah.
Okay, and we have, let me see if I can say this correctly, Surugiken on the, I believe it's going to be
Surugiken.
Awakened Musa. Because it
Okay.
is uncapped indeed, so it probably is going to be Awakened Musa. And Rayleigh, I'm going to just, turn that I into an L. I'm pretty sure that's what he would want to. On the Wizard. On the right side, we have Peligro with Metatron on the Awakened Stage, I believe. Follow Me playing that Awakened Musa and Asura.
Foimi.
Foy?
Foimi.
Maybe we should ask him. And we have Asura W on the Awakened Striker. So once again, we have this just really solid rock coming in with the Striker. Just, very menacing with that E-buff. We're probably going to see this match being dictated by, whether or not they can just, peel for the Striker.
That mage is getting ran at
Yeah,
for
they're-
sure.
it's all about
That's
the
the
caster.
first target. Sage, especially if it's on, it's probably Succession for sure. But Sage with that.
The Sage is
reset
Awakening,
E-buff.
No, Sage is
Oh, it's an
Awakening.
Awakening
Yeah,
Sage.
Awakening Sage.
Yeah,
Ooh.
surprisingly, yeah.
Ooh, okay. We'll see how that goes. So they have an extra grab. They have that Musa. If the Musa ends up being Succession, that's still like really good DPS, but that would change the way they play. Let's bring it back to the main screen here. But not honestly, I feel like maybe that mage comp has an advantage here, especially if they're able to peel. But that's going to be the main deciding factor, right? Is that mage going to have any breathing room to support his teammates and dump in damage from range? Is it going to be an Awakening mage or Succession? I'm assuming Succession, but we'll see.
So
you would think it's Succession, but it is Awakening,
It's
I believe.
Awakening.
'cause-
Oh,
yeah,
Console players are built
Yeah.
different.
okay.
A little
it's
spicy.
different. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The suck bladers and stuff like that aren't nearly as prevalent as they are on that I've noticed on PC. But I do believe actually one of these mooses I believe is Succession. So don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure. Just kind of keep an eye out.
Quote him on it,
I
quote
think
him on
one Succession, one's
Running down.
Awakening. But the yeah, I said the same thing too as well during the preliminaries. I did not think this caster was going to make it through. Of course, right? I'm hyping him up, but in my head, I'm thinking this guy's not going to be able to play the game.
There's
Like he came with Awakening caster. He's not going to be able to play. But you will hopefully you will see. And I don't hype him up too
excited.
much. He's evasive. He's incredibly evasive for that caster.
Okay.
So let's see if he can kind of continue that momentum and not let Stage Fright kind of make him play any different than he did during last week. So
Right. Now,
so-
is that an Awakening Draconia or Succession?
That's what I want to talk
Awakening.
about next. I think it is Awakening Dracania, but I
It is
wanted to get
Awakening.
your thoughts, Zen and Etsu. What do we want to see out of the Dracania coming out here? Because we have not yet seen a Dracania in any of these matches yet in the quarterfinals. I want to know what you guys want the Dracania to be focusing on, and maybe roles that they can play for their team, especially with this wizard that's going to be on the back foot here the whole time.
Now, who's the third on the other? Sorry, I forgot which is the second team.
On Peligro's side, we have a Striker, Musa, and Sage. Awakening Sage.
Oh, Striker.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
That changes everything.
That's gonna be tough to deal with. Honestly,
Yeah.
like you, because if you have an Awakening Dracania, they're usually gonna bolt towards the target and try
Yeah.
to focus them down. But how do you really deal with the Striker plus a Musa running away plus the Sage dancing around? If it's an Awakening caster, that is a lot of pressure that can spread out, wrap around you, go for a grab, play both sides. But maybe if the Musa is overcommitted, maybe that Dracania can find an opportunity to grab him. The Mage can maybe have some breathing room to chip him down with range. But I'm being a little hopeful by saying that. It's easier said than done for sure. I'm actually probably going to end up rooting for that first team. I believe you said was DSR.
Yeah.
Probably going to end up voting on that one. Oh.
DSR is the one with the Dracania wizard.
The other one.
You lost, my friend.
My bad. The team. I'm hoping for great things on both sides.
Okay. Zen?
I mean, look, I have to vote for Peligro, right? So I have one of my own guild members over there. That's
Biased.
Megatron. So. Yeah, I'm a little biased, but hey, at least, but he is actually on that Awakening Sage. I was surprised to see he's running a more tanky build. So he has that range grab, but he's kind of running more of a utility
Just an
for it. So
infighter,
kind
right?
of applying those debuffs, really engaging in that fight. So you'll kind of see the Awakening Sage kind of playing more of a frontline role alongside the Striker rather than kind of playing offside and looking for picks. So
Got it.
as far as what I want to see from the Awakening Dracania, I mean, anytime I see an Awakening Dracania in this like small 3v3 format, even 1v1s, is kind of playing more of the edge, right? Looking for an opportunity for that immediate burst into grab to allow their teammates then to capitalize on their CCs rather than them being the primary DPS dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the first match.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Wait, who did Vaha vote for?
We're just gonna see.
That's crazy.
I'm always on the winning side.
All right, we got Dova Queen with a pretty snazzy outfit right there. We love to see it.
Rocking
Nice
the
and
BD9.
casual. They're actually playing defensive here. Actually, probably a really good choice while they wait for things to happen. The Dracania is going to have to play those backline fights right there, those little skirmishes, and try to force someone out. Let's see who he tries to go for. It looks like he is going to try and DPS straight into the Musa. Musa is going to move towards the center of the map. I think the fight is going to hang out around the Mage constantly whenever he TPs. Shuriken is put back on or put onto the ground. V is forced out of Rayla, the Mage. Again, it's going to be tough for him to deal with. But we also have the Dracania going on the ground. There's the V
Dropping
from Dova
really
Queen
low.
as well. There's two Vs already out of the fight. But Metatron V is also down on the Sage. So let's see what happens. He is going to go down, or sorry, go forward, try and find a catch right there where the KD doesn't quite connect. He has on the Awakening Sage, so he's going to move back towards the fight, try and find a range grab. Now, again, there is that Mage TPing around. Definitely going to be a high priority target. His TP's down. Let's see if he can try and get out. Dova Queen
Dracania
actually
taken
going
out.
down first. Shuriken very low. All V's down on that on DSR right now. And yeah, that's just going to be a really tough team to deal with how stationary they all are. Now, it looks like actually, DSR does manage to find Follow Me, the Musa, and takes him out. So this is now a 2v2 situation. Let's see if they are able to bring it back. Metatron is down to 25% HP. Let's see if he's able to reset and try to get his HP up before he goes back in. Shuriken trying to find some sort of DPS trade. He is on the Awakening Musa. I'm not sure if we found if Follow Me was on Succession or not. I didn't quite catch that. Rayla, unfortunately, being taken out of the fight again as an Awakening Mage. That is pretty tough to deal with, but he did a good job surviving up to this point. Shuriken is taken out of the fight as well, and with that first round is going to go to Peligro.
Yeah.
Right. Now, something I did notice, I was surprised to see that the Dracania did go down first. I do think he had the right idea. Everyone waiting at the beginning there until the fight came to them, and then the moment you saw things happening, that Dracania bolted right towards the mage was, and I think the mage actually ended up TPing in with his teammates, which puts him like in a good position.
Yeah.
He did a good job surviving for a long time, but in the end, like, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. So, Zen, what do you think we have to see coming out from the side of DSR to maybe, change things up?
Well, I think the first thing we got to go over is that caster's definitely looking like Succession to me. So we'll see him on this round just to confirm, but I'm pretty sure I saw some high voltages being spammed around. So I do think that caster's in Succession, just to kind of make sure that we're on the same page there. But
it's tough to see there.
Yeah, jumping all over, but Follow Me actually wound up getting taken out from the winning side, right, Ligo's side, without V'ing. So for them not to be able to kind of capitalize on that mistake, it is unfortunate to kind of see it, but it's just the pure damage. I'm wondering what is doing so much AoE. It's got to be the Sage, just kind of maybe adjusting his build, crystal setup. I'm not quite sure what the rules allow them to do from the preliminaries to now, but maybe they made some adjustments from week to week, because it does look like Peligros actually wound up dishing out a bit more damage than they were last weekend. So maybe there's some strategy in kind of doing a assumption like, hey, we're going to be a little different than we were last week, kind of catch people off guard.
Yeah, it seems like the Sage was definitely kind of like playing the centerpiece for his team. Just
he was in there.
Yeah, standing there with SA with the Lightning Prison and just like letting his damage like drop down in the middle of the stage. And he was still staying pretty slippery too with the iframe side to side, appearing behind someone, maybe forcing
nothing personal, kid. Yeah.
Yeah, just forcing their escapes with his like ranged grab. He didn't even have to throw it. Sometimes I would see him like jump onto a target but just not even have to grab because the person would just run away. They have to.
Let's start this next match while we keep discussing. But yeah, you're completely right. That Sage did a really good job at always asserting his presence into the fight and just finding those opportunities for a grab. Now it looks like they are going to move forward. The Sage is going to use E-buff right there. You can see that he most likely used his reset to be able to achieve that. Shift RMD from Sage on Jova Queen, unfortunately, is going to get them down, but they do not burn V just yet. Looks like Metatron is going to use that Lightning Prison. He is forced to move out of that so he can avoid some damage right there. You can tell he did take a lot of chip damage down to half, but he is going to recuperate. He's going to get back in the fight. That Musa that you can see on DSR side on Peligros side is actually getting chipped down heavily, and like you said, Zen, that mage indeed is Succession 100%, not Awakening. Sorry about that. So yeah, doing a really good job, and honestly, that's a very wise decision with a mobile team like that. You're gonna have to get yourself repositioned constantly. You can see he's actually going to DPS the Musa. Musa's not going to use V again. Metatron has burned his V. He's down to 13% HP. Mage is going to get put down on the ground, but I don't believe he's going to V just yet. Metatron is going to go down, and now it's a 3v1.
What a turnaround from DSR's perspective. The amount of damage they were able to dish out just in a short amount of time. That Dracania E-buff cannot be ignored. Like, if the enemy team sees that pop up, the damage is going to be, complete 180, where that Dracania kind of plays off to the side and then turns into more of a, I'm going to be in that fight and you will respect my damage. The Striker's doing absolutely everything he can to stay alive in this 1v3, but at this point, can he turn it around? Does he have the damage? I just don't think he could do it. I think at this point, he goes, look, I'm in the spotlight now. This is my moment. My teammates may have died, but at least let me get some PvP in.
Let me show them I know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. Honestly,
this ain't on me.
Those moments where you're 1v3 and nothing matters, those are actually when you play the best, because you have like nothing to lose. So you might as well just do everything in the book to try and at least catch one person. And look at this. He's doing a really good job. He actually does manage to put Jova Queen onto the ground, does manage to find the second grab. He's getting DPS as a result, but he's showing, you know what, I can dance between three people. I can dance if I want to, and I'm going to find.
I can hear him now in the comms. These guys aren't even good. I can hear them now. Right? You're hiding behind that 1300 evasion, 700 DR, and you're like, these guys aren't even good.
They can't
right? Just
kill
stay
me.
alive.
What the heck?
Exactly. Just get more damage.
We love that.
Yeah, what I did notice in that round as well was just Follow Me not being before he was taken down.
Yeah,
right?
that was the second time that's happened. And if you look at this team comp, as a Musa versus Mage, Dracania, and Striker.
Let me check. It's going to be, Dracania, Musa, and Wizard.
Oh, Musa, sorry. Yeah. Used to seeing the Strikers from the previous round. As a Musa, that's hard to run into. Like,
you really have to be on your toes.
And for him, he is dying. One thing to note, we did say this before, it's okay not to go in. It's okay not to do damage. Honestly, it really annoys me when you're fighting in these situations and a Musa runs up just enough to be a mosquito in your presence, but they hold block or
but not
hold
actually just
guard.
committing.
Yeah, not committing. And I feel like we're going to have to see them try and do like a little push-pull, but that's tough because even if he does the push-pull, he's still going to get ranged out by the mage and slowed and DPS down. So
he's got to make something happen because the mage is just free casting the whole time. He can actually operate from that range while Musa has to make something happen in the time that, he's just within the range to be in there.
Well, let's go ahead and check out that next round. While that's loading up, Zen, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, we're looking at a 1-to-1 right now. So both teammates understand what it takes to win. I think right now, if Follow Me locks in, slows down, plays like a Musa, I just don't see how Peligro can't take this win, especially with them being down a teammate 2 rounds in a row and still being able to make it kind of a back and forth fight.
And you can see right here, Follow Me actually was going in the center of everything, and he was getting really low. Sugarkin does manage to get back up. He has 50% HP, but it looks like Follow Me is 1% HP.
I can't believe he got that off. I cannot believe he got that off.
That is crazy.
That was absolutely insane, but the V is found. He doesn't go on the ground. He is going to run away, but now he's in a position where he is just going to be DPS trade, get slowed down, and Follow Me unfortunately was taken out of the fight. I do believe he should play a little, like, way safer, not of dashing in the middle of everything and just play the outskirts 24/7. But now we are in a 3v2 situation right here. If you do notice, Follow Me did manage to get his V off this round, so kudos to him. Awesome. We love to see it. But yeah, Dova Queen does have their V down as well. That's probably going to be the next high priority target. That mage just might be too difficult to lock down, because as a succession mage with all that mobility, you can try and keep dashing towards them, but the moment like you get to them, their next CP is going to be up and you're going to be chipped and you're going to be slowed constantly by those lightning abilities. You can actually see Dova Queen watching from above casually for his teammates, just making sure everything's good for them. But back to the fight, Dova Queen has managed to come back down and said, you know what, we'll make this a 3v2 again. Now look at right here, Metatron is getting super low. He still has his V, but it looks like he's still going to try and play for some sort of play right here, but be careful, don't play things too risky. You don't want to be chipped out of the fight. Relay kiting away from the fight, dumping damage in. Metatron being taken out. It's a 3v2 again on DSR's side, and yeah, DSR is just playing very well. And moving towards the next match. I'm not
understanding how Ray is being left alone for so long. I mean, if anybody that's ever played a Succession caster, it's almost like an Archer in the same way, or a Succession Ranger, where if you leave me alone, I will make sure you feel my presence, right? Like, you can't ignore the caster. They will make sure that you are going to be an absolute stack on slow.
That was huge.
And Ray now 2 for 2, confident enough to not V, because he almost died last round from the same thing, but didn't V, saved it. Winds up getting that heal off and just kind of restarting,
There's the heal. He goes back in the spiral, doesn't connect. He actually gets put on the ground. He is KD'd and he will go down here. Honestly, I do feel like a little bit of a deciding factor here is like Follow Me. I recommend like play the outskirts, and it's okay not to do anything right away, but just constantly be there, putting pressure on that mage, while also avoiding dashing through the center of the fight, because I noticed in that last round he went through the center of it all and he was just getting chipped.
Maybe not straight at death, kind of skirting around.
Yeah, maybe
death.
go around. Or I would recommend that.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to understand that there's 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to fight. You don't have to be the playmaker in the first 10 seconds. Like, enjoy your moment, slow down a little bit, and understand that 3 minutes can go by pretty quick. But I'll tell you what, if you make mistakes within the first 30 seconds, they could then lead to whether or not you win in the last 30 seconds. And if you perform well in the first, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is who's alive at the end of the round. Right, so staying alive and saving that extra little bit of HP can be the difference, right?
So hopefully they can have like a little bit of a mental reset on the side of Peligro and just really get Follow Me to calm down a little bit, rein him back in, and then see if they can pull this one back. Let's hop into the match.
Yeah, it is tricky because we do say like Follow Me should try and stick on the mage, but just to be very charitable here, it's not that simple. You need to be creating enough pressure to make him TP, but the problem is if you're too far or you try to wrap around too far behind him, that mage can just TP into his teammates who are
now you're in trouble.
Now you're not there
to
DPS trade. Honestly, I would probably like to see Peligro play a defensive defensive stance, but it's tricky.
Once again, Follow Me is just really aggressive, going in with that Musa shot, trying to see if he can get any opening coming out.
But he wound up capitalizing, getting Dova.
Right, he's actually playing very well this time. This is how
he
should play, playing on the outskirts 24/7 without being in the center. He does manage to get Dova Queen's V down, which is really smart, really good play. Honestly, more pressure we want to see on that. He does manage to go up to the mage, and he realized that, I don't want to get DPS like that. Let's actually see if I can out-sustain, and we can just focus down the Dova Queen first. Right, there is going to be the E-buff coming out from the Musa. There is going to be the V down from Dova Queen. Let's see if they can find something. He is going to go in with Crush Crusher right there, just drop some damage down in the center, and he's actually playing very... Oh, I'm actually looking at Shuriken, my bad.
Different Musa, different Musa.
different Musa.
This is what you should be doing, though.
Yeah. This one. Follow Me's V does manage to go down. Dova Queen actually taken out of the fight. A really good move, but let's see Peligro play it safe. Let's not get too greedy. Let's not get too aggressive. Remember, you can play it so you have the luxury right now. Do not take that 1v1 with the other Musa right now. Do not do it. No honorable 1v1s off to the side. That's okay. Arsha is on the ground. He does manage to get back up. Relaya is off in dead right there. Really good plays from Peligro, and honestly, wonderful job from Peligro adapting a little bit. They played it a lot slower, and that's the key. You don't have to play it too fast. You should have some presence. You shouldn't dash through the middle of all the damage, and you shouldn't ignore them either. It's tough. It's really, really, really difficult. You have to play perfect. Yep. But this round, they're doing a phenomenal job. But let's see. Will this Musa 1v3? That would be crazy. But it looks like he is going to get DPS down all the way, knocked down on the ground, and he is taken out by Team Peligro. And right there, they did such a good job. Yeah,
looks like DSR was able to, Peligro was able to figure out what they were, missing from the last round and just brought it back, and it's looking good. Yeah. Looks like Follow Me has finally found his stride in the match, and he's making a really big impact, taking out Dova Queen really early in that match and just setting his team up for success.
Well, let's go ahead and see what happens in the final round while we keep discussing this. Sorry about that, Zen.
I saw no worries. I saw two major adjustments that they did, right? So it's one thing to kind of chase the caster, but Dova actually seems to be the go-to. I mean, at least for me in like AOS, for example, going for the Awakening Draconia, the opportunity for their neutral game to have gaps in it and getting that CC early on can make the difference. You can't ignore the caster, but kind of just being present around him, forcing him to TP can slow down that DPS.
Right, now here's that Meteor going out. He doesn't quite find someone, but there we go. Follow Me putting a little bit of pressure, then backing off. Really good play. Didn't force the TP, unfortunately. It looked like he was a little bit too tanky, but as long as you're not getting picked out of the fight, really smart move. He does manage to go up behind him. Forces that TP to burn really good. He readjusts. He's staying with his team. Ashra running at the caster. Trying to get that Battle Cry stun out, but doesn't quite connect. Follow Me actually forced a V. Thankfully, he V'd really early. That was actually a very wise decision. Let's hope he doesn't get sniffed right here. This is going to be a really... doesn't look like he finds it. He actually gets really on the ground. He actually manages to get the V, and this is really good for Peligro side because now they can afford to burn so many resources trying to focus down that mage, knowing that his V's down, Dova Queen's down. This is really good right here. Let's see if Peligro can capitalize. They still have two V's. Looks like that E-buff is going to come out from Astra. He is put on the ground by Dova Queen, but not enough DPS. He manages to stand back up. Shuriken is going to go back on him. Astra is getting dangerously low right here at 10%, but he is just fine. He manages to hold on to his V really smart, but let's hope he doesn't greed it too much. He is getting chipped down heavily. That mage is able to afford to dump damage right now, but let's see if someone can put up a little bit of pressure. Looks like another player was forced to V. All Vs are down on Peligro's side. 2 Vs down on DSR. Let's see what they're able to do. That mage is free casting. We have to be careful here. Can that Sage find the grab? He doesn't quite connect, unfortunately. All right, you can see the heal coming out from the mage. 30 seconds until 50% HP due. Drop Dova Queen actually taken out of the fight early, and you did mention that Zen. That was actually a really good target to go for first while not ignoring the mage, and now they can afford to burn a lot of resources onto the Succession caster. He's going to try and put some slows onto the enemy and dodge, but right now with 3 targets, it's going to be a lot more claustrophobic here. He is managing to throw damage down on Metatron, and they are going to manage to trade back, so now it's a 2v2. Let's see what they're able to get out here. Will a grab connect onto the caster? No stun from the Musa, but he does manage to burn that TP. He is going to run away. Shuriken does come out of V right here. Did he manage to get caught? Not quite yet. Surprised that he managed to survive. Now they are going to go directly onto Leia again. Can they find the grab? Not quite. Dashes away. They're turning back onto the striker, or onto the Musa.
Look at the movement from the caster, just avoiding the striker. It's just phenomenal to watch. Like, that striker's doing absolutely everything he can to get rid of that caster, but there's just nothing he can do. It's almost like the caster doesn't respect the striker. He says, I'm gonna win this whether you chase me or not. And if you notice, actually, in the middle of that round, the caster, that's 2 for 2 now. The last round he did it too as well, where I love to see when you have a caster willing to burn his movement to PA his teammates. Because a lot of the times you'll see kind of more early on as a caster, they're very selfish. My heals are for me, my PA is for me. But Ray did not play like that, and I think that's the reason why they wound up taking that home.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and I want to see... I actually do want to see... this is tough. There's a lot of good rounds.
We'll just start from the top, and then we can just talk it through.
I think let's start from round 3. And right here, unfortunately, Peligro did lose but they played very well. And one thing I do want to mention is, as much as we were talking about Follow Me in the beginning of this match, he actually adapted really well as things moved on.
It back.
Even in that final round, unfortunate that he went down, but they played really well. One of the things here, though, we'll talk about it once we get there. Let's talk about this match, and I'll actually leave it up to you, Zen.
For round 3,
This is round 3.
Getting the initial so this is when Follow Me really kind of started utilizing his Vs, right? He's actually making it past that initial.
Each
this
round
was the
he V'd
1 second
sooner.
V. But I think this is the turning point, right? This is the round where he understands. He's like, you know what? Look, he gets chased by the Musa. Right here, something triggered him, right? During this moment, he's like, I V'd, I got chased by the Musa. I'm going to do what he's doing, because this is the round that kind of shifted into Follow Me started turning around. But as we saw, Peligro wound up losing the match overall. What if, right? What if Follow Me did go off in this round or the round prior? I think this right here is kind of where DSR kind of got more confident, right? They built up that I think we got this. I think as long as we put pressure on the Musa, he wound up kind of becoming the key target. And the issue when you're already the class that the enemy team wants to focus, and then you're also then allowing them to burn your Vs early on, it's almost like a compounding issue, right? Because you may already be the easiest target. You might have the least amount of gear, right? Because this is uncapped. Follow Me, at some point, DSR realized we could damage this guy. Like, whether it's a gear score difference, build difference, whatever it may be, he's going to be our focus now. So not only he may be the easiest target, he might have the least amount of gear, but now all eyes on him. They're just going to chase him around the entire time. So having that as on the back of your head is going to be a big problem.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to draw some attention to how confidently Rayleigh is playing out. Like, this entire set, he was just fearless.
Yep. He's got those heals, he's got the slows, he's got the PA for his teammates, and he's got that mobility. It's honestly, when you're facing a succession caster, it's frustrating because the moment you get to them, they're dashing again, you're getting slowed, and since you're slowed, it takes longer to get to them, and once you get to them again, you're getting slowed once again. So you almost have to play
Ray.
Ray's getting one right there, but he's able to
He did not V.
Yeah,
look how
he
gets down to 10 to 20%. He's like, you're not going to damage me. Yeah. I know you're not going to kill. Now, we've seen that kind of backfire, right, with Silver getting taken out, as well as multiple cases in which people, like this round, for example, Megatron not being and wound up getting taken out.
We love Megatron.
Ray seems to be a good understanding of how much damage he can take, how quickly. I would love to see, even if we don't watch the entire round, I want to understand what's going on at the beginning of round 2, right at the get-go. We had Megatron's team, right? Peligro walks forward, and so watch them run forward, and the enemy team is all stacked together, and Dova gets CC'd right. Watch how stacked they are, and then Dova gets CC'd right off the bat. Look at them all in one spot. I think they were trading caster buffs. I think that's what they were doing, is they walked out of and they just stood there and trade speed spells and getting maybe no PA was popped. So not quite understanding kind of what happened though. But ironically, this is the round that DSR wound up taking anyway. But you got to make sure that when you're coming out of that gate, because how it happens for people that have not been in AOA before, right, is both teams start behind those gates and you're up against that wall, kind of mentally preparing on not only the direction that you're going to go within here, right? You have 2 gazebos that you can hide behind for line of sight, which I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of. A lot of these fighting, as you can see right here, it's all kind of centralized in a big open area. I would love to see some teams, especially in semifinals and finals, utilizing hiding around the gazebo more. Because why do you have to be out in the open right here when a caster's just free cast on you with an E-buff the entire time? Hide. There's no shame in hiding, right? No one's going to sit here and judge you. The only thing they're going to judge you is, do you kill people and do you win? Right? They don't care if you're going to have to sit. But look at Ray. Now, the gazebo kind of plays a factor right here, which is nice. But when you get hit like this, tell your team, hey, caster's hitting us, go around. At this point, Striker's by himself now, right? So it doesn't matter. But it just, in the future, that's kind of hoping to see more teams take advantage of. When's the last time we've seen anybody fight in between the guardrails of that gazebo? I don't think it's happened almost maybe once.
I think we might have seen it with that team with Fields. It was the only one running at the start and hiding behind.
What I was going to bring up.
Exactly.
Yeah. With you can see the pedigree from a championship team. They know that they can use the terrain to their advantage. So you see the proof just always starting from behind the gazebo, making sure they understand the game plan before going into the round, and then coming out to fight the enemy team.
Again, really.
So as a kind of side note, as an overall statement, some people in the main PC watching may not understand that console actually doesn't have the V changes yet. It's meaning that even though it has not happened very much, we're still using OGVs. It's meaning you can sniff them. Which is, to me, I'm not understanding why a lot of these rounds, you see it, people attempting to sniff for the V, but we'll see in the semifinals if that kind of plays a factor, because using the original Vs, right, the moment you come out of it, you are vulnerable. You could be taken out. So
I think let's do one more replay, and I'm thinking the very last round, because there was just so much going on there.
And I feel during these last rounds is really where both teams started like getting pretty
adapting, knowing what to do. And Follow Me did really well in this last round too. The last like 3 rounds, you could see him adapting more and more, not taking risks with his V.
Watch it about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You'll see the caster dive in and PA his teammates on top of a CC. They get a down smash on the striker, and then Ray winds up going in and PAing so they can continue the pressure. So we'll see it here pop up here pretty soon. You'll notice that striker gets CC'd, then gets re-CC'd, then gets down smashed, and then Ray goes in and winds up PAing for his teammates. It's going to happen here pretty soon. It happens right in front of the gate on the opposite end of where right here. So striker goes in, winds up getting late CC'd. He pops an E-buff. You think he's confident, gets CC'd right here. You think he's going to get back up, re-CC'd, still on the ground, then gets down smashed, and then the caster goes in and PAs on top of his teammates. Watch the caster PA. You see it right
Huge.
there? And keeping the damage up on the caster. And they wind up actually taking this round and winning the overall match, right? So plays like that will completely determine whether or not, right? That little stuff like that. Ray didn't get told, hey, I need you to jump on this combo and PA so we can keep up the pressure on this strike. He didn't get told. That's just natural. You see that, you see the opportunity, you take advantage of it. So those micro plays make a difference.
Yeah, very, very impressive from Ray coming out there, just knowing when to apply the support that his team needs and just helping them secure the dub. That's
But again,
crazy.
I did love seeing Follow Me dash up to the mage constantly and just do a little push-pull like I mentioned there. Like, go up to him, make him aware of your presence, but don't overgreet it. You know, he dashes back to the point of origin where the fight's taking place.
Yeah.
But not quite enough, again, with Ray there, free casting off to the side. He's able just to dump damage in. Metatron goes down. It's back to a 2v2, and ultimately they're able to keep up that momentum and take the win.
Yeah. And, all right, yeah, I guess we can just really quickly pull back to the main screen and check out the bracket soon.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see those updated brackets. We do have a break coming up before we head into semifinals.
So, really quickly going over the results from the quarterfinals, we have Whom's Beat Us moving on into the semis, The Proof, and on the right side we have Bloodline joining them, as well as DSR. We're going to be taking a 10-minute break really quickly, so if you need to go to the restroom, grab some refreshments, maybe grab a snack, we'll be here. So, yeah, we'll see you guys very, very soon.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on to the semifinals and finals.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, we've seen a lot of great plays come out from our contestants in the quarterfinals, but it seems like things are just heating up.
Right.
A lot of the rounds in the quarters, it seems like people were kind of waiting until the last minute to see if they could get things to happen in the last 1 minute of the round on that 50% halfway mark and just edge out the fight or just win by HP. But I hope that these next rounds coming up here in the semis will have more proactive play in the mid fight before we actually get to the nitty gritty when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and remember at the beginning of these quarterfinal matches, they were actually going on the left side of the bracket for a really long time.
Yep.
So I am interested to see, now that we have two really, really strong teams that sustain in battle, how are they going to approach these fights?
Mm-hmm.
Not approach, but how are these going to play out? Is it going to go on towards the timer again? Yeah, I'm just really interested.
Yeah. And Zen, do you have any things that you want to see from our semifinalists coming up in these brackets?
Should probably check out the brackets. So
yeah, let's pull it up real quick and we talk about it.
Yeah, if we pull them up. I mean, right. We were mentioning the A and B team for Hooms and Bidas, right? Because they are both from the same guild, right? So as far as the roster they're picking from, I'm sure at this point, right, Hooms and Bidas with no space Bidas is probably feeling pretty good, right? They get to move on, but the pressure's on for them now, right? Because the Proof did wind up taking out their counterparts. So I'm wondering if right now during a little break, right, for the match and while we're working on the right side of the quarterfinals, I wonder if Home Space Bidas kind of saw any gaps that maybe they can kind of let their friends know, because it's all within the same community. Just two different. So if I saw anything that would hey, I was struggling with this, or maybe hey, we didn't have enough accuracy for this. I wonder if they can kind of take advantage of that opportunity, the gap between fights.
Right, and I bet
just
with
their
right, I completely agree, Zen. And bringing you back to the main desk, I bet with I guess should we check out the team compositions first?
Yeah, we can go ahead and bring that up.
One thing to note that I feel is a small detail we don't think about is when you're winning, you have that momentum, right? But it also, that momentum was cut when we moved to the other side of the bracket, so they might not have that push as much. Who knows? And as you're waiting for your next round, those nerves are building and building and building. So we're just going to have to see how these teams play out. Now, we do have DJ, Bunny, Pappy Avatar, and Jailer versus Sebs Fields and Proteus. I believe this might have been the same team composition that Hooms beat us fought the first round. I'm not entirely sure. I think.
Yeah, this is going to be the Mega Warrior Mystic from Hooms Beta versus the Sorceress, Awakened Striker, and Succession Berserker coming out from the Proof.
Right, yeah, and we noticed that when there was a Sorc versus this comp the first time in that previous team, they struggled immensely dealing with the Warrior, Mystic, and the Megu. So I am excited to see if Proof is going to, reign supreme and keep that crown and go on to the finals. And more so, I'm very much looking forward to see how Sebs handles all of this pressure and how his teammates back him up here.
Yeah, so far it seems like he's been playing pretty confidently. Like you said, even without his V, he's just still in the fight.
He's playing it safe, and he's playing it very smart.
Yeah, keeping his range, but still providing value to his team from a distance. I really want to see if Poppy Avatar is going to be able to put a lot of more pressure on that back line, and also see if he can... sometimes you don't have the opportunity to grab the Sorc. That's just the reality of it, right? She's so slippery. Let's just see if he's going in for any other targets to make things, easier for his teammates in the mid-fight. And Zen, do you have any thoughts, maybe predictions about who's going to take this?
I think right here, both teams are really looking at this as in, with the outcome of this round, this is not semifinals to them. I think in their head, they're thinking, if I can defeat the reigning champion, or the champion can take out the rivalry between these two, as far as kind of putting gifts above these team names' heads, because they could make their team name whatever they want, right? Really what we're looking at right now is Elite, formerly known as Sacred, fighting Arsha, right? So this is really, they have a lot. It's not just 6 people involved. This is guilds backing both sides.
Yeah, there's
definitely a lot of... Yes. This is going to be who is the best, right? Who's the reigning champion? So I'm sure that's the mid that they're going in here with. And I think if they hold it together, no matter who does win this, both of them are feeling, if I beat this person, I win this tournament. So the pressure's on.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see who's going to reign supreme in this match. Let's go ahead and the round is ready. So let's go and check out things. We are in semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. So still first to 3. Let's see how things go. Again, there is a 20% HP decrease at 2 minutes and a 50% HP decrease at the 1 minute mark. So let's see if these teams are going to play towards the end, or if things are going to happen fast. Now, again, like you mentioned, Zen, this team,
Moving together.
They're moving together, and they're actually utilizing the patio right here and staying out of harm's way from range. Looks like Sebs is going to poke out, but manages, he decides, never mind, I see a Mystic running at my face, I am going to run away. And he's playing the outskirts. There's the Imminent Doom being thrown out. That is a stiffen if it lands. Looks like one of the players is getting bursted down. DJ Bunny being bursted down pretty low. Actually, already faced the V.
Getting the Mega.
Sebs does find the V. Sniffs throws out that range for bomb. DJ Bunny is taken out early, and yeah, that is going to be like the main priority target. Now the Proof is going to have a lot more room to work with so early on in the match. A lot of action going down here. Pappy Avatar going on the ground, manages to hold on to the V, which is crazy for the amount of DPS that was being thrown out. But you kind of have to decide if you're going to take that risk with one of your teammates being down. You don't want to burn things too early, but you don't want to be too low that you can't even contribute to the fight. Pappy Avatar is putting a lot of pressure on Sebs, trying to go for that grab, but doesn't quite connect. Misses, does have to run away from the fight, but everything is focused back onto him. There's a lot of pressure being put on the Warrior. That is a smart decision. I would probably do that too over going for the Mystic.
Yeah, it seems like Pappy Avatar is just trying to stay in there, but this is just they know that on the Proof side that they probably have this one in the back, so they're just rushing them down with everything they have.
Right, and yeah, there's the Imminent Doom being thrown out there again. Pappy Avatar going for the Sork, but the Sork is repositioning. There is a grab put on the Pappy Avatar. He's extended grab onto the ground. Let's see if we can find some sort of catch here. Sorry, that wasn't, I don't think that was Pappy that was caught there. I might have missed it. Pappy Avatar going for another grab. Doesn't manage to quite connect one just yet. It is tough to go for somebody on one of these teams with so much mobility at play here. Looks like Sebs does have a lot of free reign to try and go for something. He does manage to go in the fight and ends up going into Nightmare, waiting for something to see if a catch has gone off. He goes into Crows, repositions. Pappy still can't manage to get that grab. Of the payments will be distributed right at this moment. Let's see if the match will be 2. Looks like Pappy Avatar unfortunately is going to fall down. Jailer with the last one on the team. He's the sole lifeline. No sniff onto the Sorceress, and it looks like things are not looking too good for Whomsbeatas here in round 1.
Seems like it's only a matter of time.
Holding back at all. I mean, the amount of grabs that he got that round that immediately led to either a V kill. I mean, I'll tell you what, MVP that round without a doubt. Guido, Proteus is getting those grabs. He grabbed. We mentioned it earlier. The difficulty of grabbing an Awakening Megu, and not only led to the V, but it led to the sniff, and then ultimately the win. And Proof too as well. They were so confident in that victory. Once the DPS software on the other team was eliminated, they didn't even put the rebuffs. They just used Fields as his full SA utility grab, but then kept their DPS debuffs. They said, we don't need it. We got this.
Yeah, this one looks like it's in the bag. Just so much confidence coming out from the Proof side.
And Proof is, well, they're going to prove victorious for that round, of course. Got to put in those
very, very clean. And it seems like they have no cracks in their defense. It's just so hard to open this team up.
Seb's playing very well, not greeting. He has eyes on him, but he's not overcommitting to any like damage trades, and that gives his teammates room to go and back him up and get those grabs, like you said, from Proteus. Going into the next round here, one thing I did mention at the start of that match again, that Proof is utilizing, like you said, Zen, those patios and just
it's a fourth teammate, man.
Yep, it is a fourth teammate.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the patios,
good way to think about it.
Yeah,
it's good to play around them in case you have to V, because you can do a little bit of a mix-up. But in Whomsbeatas' case, DJ Bunny, I believe, was the one that V'd first, and that gave Sebs the opportunity to like wrap around and find that catch there with the range for bomb. Now it looks like DJ Bunny is going to go in right here. Doesn't quite find something. Spins around, doesn't connect, but he is going to dance around the fight. But you can see Proteus right here constantly running.
Guido's just on his tail.
Guido said you are not allowed to play the game, and that I said this before, if you can somehow manage to burn the stamina from the Awakening Megu, it's going to be tough for him to try and do anything. A very wise decision from Sebs to go on the Awakening Megu and push him off the fight, but he doesn't overcommit. He comes back towards his teammates to fight alongside with them, forcing DJ Bunny to try and go back in, but it's it's just really tough. There's Sebs going into Nightmare, playing it safe because he knows Guido's nearby, ready to back him up. DJ Bunny, unfortunately, caught on the ground. He is going to be forced to V.
There we go.
Let's see if the Sork can find it. He did use that range for bomb, but is he going to be able to third
That's a very risky spot to be in.
Went to the same spot he did last. He got away, though.
Close. He was almost close to getting CC'd, but lucky for him, he does manage to make it out, like Zen said. DJ Bunny just has to play on the back foot, and it's pretty rare that you see an Awakening Megu playing so uncomfortable, but Unfortunately for him, Proof is on top of their A game. Like, they're able to exert a lot of pressure. He does manage to find the float onto Fields, but there's not enough breathing room for him to capitalize on that, and he is going to have to play the outskirts. And you notice right now, he's actually playing a little bit too far away from the fight because it feels constant, like there's eyes on him.
I think it's the PTSD. He still thinks that they're chasing him.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, it looks like Sabs is doing a good job playing with his teammates. He does try to find a catch with the Dream of Doom. Doesn't quite connect. He is going to throw the Imminent Doom out. Doesn't connect onto Jail. Sorry, not Jailer, but Pappy Avatar. But he does keep himself safe. Looks like
they got the V from Guido.
They have the force of V.
That's huge. Can they sniff it though?
Yep, can they sniff it? Looks like the V was put on Guido. Is Guido found out of his V? Not quite yet.
He's running for his life.
All right, TVS doesn't quite connect, neither does Grim Reaper's Judgment. Sebs is going to try and play around this patio, and we mentioned that, right? That patio is a fourth teammate. It's really good to play around, especially for a team comp like the Proof. You do want to play around in those choke areas and dance around them. Now, it looks like DJ Channy was unfortunately caught again with no V. He's been on the ground, and he's going to be taken out first. And yeah, that is going to be the deciding factor right there. Fields is on the ground. It looks like 2 Vs happened at this moment. Sebs was forced to V, but now he's in the outskirts. He did try to charge up Dream of Doom, but he didn't notice he was getting a little pressure. TBS does connect onto Jailer. Grim Reaper Judgment is going to put him on the ground. He does swirling, putting him in a down smash state, but it's not quite enough damage, but he's not going to greet it. Looks like they're going to have to play a little bit slow, but there's so much action going down right here. Jailer is going to be taken out of the fight. That's going to put them at a 3v1 again, unfortunately, and with that, it's just going to be really tough for the Warrior.
It just seems insurmountable. Once they lost the first teammate, they're just backs against the wall, and they really can't budge at all. They just have their Vs forced out immediately after, and it just seems like it's too easy for the Proof.
Yeah, no, they're doing they're honestly doing a really good job at picking their targets off, going for the Megu first. Megu into the Striker.
They're looking for I think they're looking for the Warrior after.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's just I feel like I want to hop into their comms and see how it is going from maybe like the
I can only imagine Guido's like, I'm on the Megu, I got him.
Yeah, I imagine Hoomsbeat all you hear is like popping off with like that dad just screaming like, help me, someone please help me. Just Zerker's just chasing me down. But yeah,
with the pressure on the Megu, I mean, if you can't let the Megu play the game, then what do you have, right? I mean, first round, I would say that held strong, but round 2, you saw a glimpse of how you could win, right? They did get the V from Guido, so if it's going to be a nonstop, like almost like I view it as like a Scooby-Doo cartoon, right? Where just every individual person is chasing the next person. It's almost like a conga line going around the AOA arena. But if they can peel for their teammate and keep up Berserker, which I know is already a very difficult task, they can kill him. They have the damage to do it. So there is a chance to turn this around, but it's not going to be easy, especially against the original champions too.
Yeah, no, completely.
Well, everything's on the line. This is 2-0, and if they can't pull it back, then we might see them being eliminated in this next round. But
things can get shaky. You might end up saying, okay, let's just focus this guy, and it might be the wrong decision. It's honestly tough. I don't think you can really focus the Sork too much, but you also can't ignore him either. Yep. On top of that, like you said, maybe you can have a chance to DPS down Guido, but like this is all really tough to deal with. Like it's hard. Yeah. And Proof is bringing their A game.
I'm hoping that we can see a little bit more coming out of the Awakened Mystic. I think Jailer is trying his best to keep up with the aggression coming out of the Proof, but we haven't seen him been able to open up anything for his teammates to capitalize on. But of course, it's not an easy task, though.
Right. Now, I am surprised here. Notice how the Proof is always playing behind the patio. I'm surprised that Hoomsbeaters isn't just being like, okay, we'll play at our patio too and just see who's going to move first.
Just don't fight each other.
You don't have to engage first.
Just a friendly wave from across the map.
Right,
don't interact.
Pappy Avatar is on the ground. No V is burned right now. He is DP chipped down to 71%, but he is still healthy. He's doing well. He is going to try and find that grab, but it's really tough. He actually manages to get bounded onto the ground. Will he get re-CC? Not quite. He does bust out the E-buff, but in that E-buff, he gets grabbed by the Striker. Hopefully, he was still able to get the buff, but Pappy Avatar gets put on the ground. He manages to finally find a grab on the Sebs. Sebs going to be forced to V. No! Guido comes in and said, get down, Mr. President. I got you. And he ends up peeling for his teammate. No, actually, V was still burned by Sebs. He is down to 20% HP. Are they going to find that V-sniff? They actually managed to find it. Now this is Hoomsbeaters' opportunity to find something here. Feels on the ground, Pappy Avatar Pappy Avatar manages to take out Feels, and now it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a reverse sweep for Whom's Betas. Guido finding that grab on the DJ Bunny, but will he have the damage? I don't believe so. Zerker is really strong, but without a team to back him up for those grab opportunities, it's going to be very difficult for him to do much of anything. And now he's just going to jump around and stall for time.
This is the momentum that Whom's needed, right? They prove does bleed. We can win this. We understand what needs to be done. We mentioned it earlier too as well, right? Where we're still using like the original V's, right? So
Guido's like, just get it over with.
One sniff away, it can completely turn whether or not who's going to win or not. So.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, very well done from the side of Whom Betas there, just recognizing which target they have to go for and making it happen.
I'm actually convinced Whom Betas was this was intentional. They actually lost the first 2 rounds on purpose to teach the enemy humility, so they could bring it back on the reverse sweep. A little mental warfare, you know, like we're not that free.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
It might just be kind of like their I wouldn't say showboating, but they want to really show that they are really that team.
Yeah, they're that team for sure. And I'm looking forward to see how they bring it back, and if they can, like you said, Zen, can they keep up that momentum moving into the next round? Can they bring it back?
Yeah. So if we have the next round ready, let's go ahead and hop in and see what happens here. It's still going to be playing from a little bit of a deficit, but I think finally Whom's Beta has a little bit of momentum going for them, so they might be able to keep this ball rolling.
Right, and is Proof going to play behind the patio, and is Whom's going to end up challenging that? Looks like, yes, that is exactly what's going to happen, but it looks like fights are happening around the patio. Everyone's in the center. DOD coming out. Doesn't connect. Guido finding a grab on the DJ Bunny, and the V's going to go out, and he's at 22%. Is Seb's going to manage to find the V-sniff? He's going off to the left side. Doesn't manage to find it. DJ Bunny actually in the distance, and he does manage to survive, but he's really low now, and knowing that he doesn't have a V, that striker running at you. Now Guido's going to be running at your face as well. Things are looking really scary for DJ Bunny.
Popping that E-buff there.
There's the E-buff. Yep, he has no choice. He has to pop it. And yeah, it looks like he's trying to support his team from the background, but it's not quite enough because you have to be careful. Because the moment you go in, there it is. Guido is looking for DJ Bunny. He has his number. He's grab extended, and he is taken out of the fight.
Immediately melted.
It very well played from Guido. Guido managed to position himself in a way where it's like, you know, eventually DJ Bunny's going to go in, and right there he gets grabbed. Now, a lot of damage is being thrown out here. Seb's V is down, but Seb's has proven to be able to kite away from a fight and not overgreed for things. And yep, he's doing a really good job going to Nightmare. And chasing a Sork for this long, while he's sitting in Nightmare, remember, he's getting his cooldowns back while you're just burning all of yours. He tries to go for a TBS, doesn't quite connect. The Grim Reaper Judgment, I believe, does connect onto Poppy Avatar. Doing a good job at trying to do this 2v3 out, but it looks like it's not.
I think it's coming apart at the seams here.
Things are slowly coming apart, as you said. Poppy Avatar rotating Grave and SA, trying to get those slows off. He does go outside of the fight, but he has to be careful. Looks like Jailer is taken out of the fight. Can Poppy Avatar bring it back? He does manage to get a grab down to Sabs. Guido said, I don't think so. Grabs him, extended, put him in the air, put him on the ground. Double KD, put on the ground. DPS, and with that, Proof is really proving themselves that
looking so solid out there.
They are really solid.
I think this match really signifies to everyone else in the bracket that this is the standard they have to beat.
That's that team.
Yeah, just everything coming out from the side of the Proof, especially with Guido, as you guys mentioned, just he is on top of it.
Guido, like Sebs is playing phenomenally, but I do think Guido is just probably the MVP here because like what we're seeing is there's a lot of mind games going on. It's not simply like, oh, my class does this, we have this comp. Guido is forcing DJ Bunny out of the fight, going back to his teammates immediately instead of trying to sniff the V. He's leaving that job up to the Sork. They don't find the V, but eventually DJ Bunny's going to go back in, and Guido's holding on to that grab because he knows there's going to be an opportunity, and like we saw that last round, he just went up to him and grabbed him, and that was, it's really tragic, but it's really tough to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean,
we saw that last round. Yeah, we saw in that last round, and also the third round at about 2 minutes, 2 minute 40 seconds remaining on the clock. And that final round, that you'll see Whom's wind up securing a CC on their opponent. Yeah, third round, 2 minutes 40 seconds in. You'll see right here, Poppy Avatar actually wants a BC, and look how quickly the Proof winds up running in and immediately peeling for his teammates. We'll see right here in this corner of the gazebo that they were hiding behind the entire time. We'll see how it kind of get clumped up together right here. So watch Poppy Avatar right now. Winds up getting a grab right here, right? Throws him on the ground, feels us on the floor, but watch Guido come in and knocking Poppy Avatar. Now the HP is really the key factor here, right? Avatar has now initially secured a CC on the Proof. The Proof coming in to peel for his teammates, but Poppy Avatar coming out, even though he initiated the clash between the two teams, comes out with less HP than the rest of them. We see that on the last round too as well, that just once again the natural communication between these people, how quickly that can happen, right? Because we've seen the end of it, right? Something like this we just watched, but also on some of the other teams that had wound up losing, I believe the Megu and the Sorg splitting up in that clash for finals. That it all comes down to not only just do you understand your class, do you understand your opponent's class, but can I watch for my teammates as well, right? You should not really be focusing too much on your own individual movement. You should be watching what your friends and enemies around you are doing as well, right? I shouldn't have to be told my teammate is CC'd. I should always be kind of like in peripherals watching to kind of count on peels.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that you'll see very quickly with these like very top contenders for the grand finalists. They're just on point. I'm not sure if they're talking about it in comms or not, saying that they're on me on my back. But once someone gets CC'd, their teammates are immediately there peeling for them, grabbing the enemy player off them, or just knocking them down, making sure that their teammates are staying safe.
Completely agree. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, Zen, was that the round you wanted to see, or did you want to see the round that just concluded?
Oh no, that was perfect. That's just an example, right? They actually they did it during the final round too as well. But to be honest, it's pretty much the end. Every round you see the proof play, you see them just gravitating to yes, exactly. If my teammates CC, that's not just hey, my teammates on the ground, but that's an opportunity to then peel for them and then set up a reverse combo, right? Get a V out of them. If they take one from us, I'm going to take one from you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think another replay that I'd like to see this coming out with is just probably the third round was probably when they had like the most infighting, the most skirmishing going on.
I think
that was the one we just watched right now.
Really? Okay. Then that's all I wanted to see. That was just like perfect. You can see how quickly. Yeah, how quickly that people adapted.
Let's actually check out the final round. I want to see that one more time.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
And again, I'm giving MVP to Guido here. I wonder if Guido might have actually been the best target to focus. Just
because Seb is just so elusive, right? It's just so hard to pin this guy down. You might as well go for the massive.
And the one that's going on to your DPS is Guido. Guido is going on to DJ Bunny, so someone's got to stop him.
Yeah. You mentioned really the first round too as well that Jailer is basically completely ignored. Like they don't focus him at all. You can watch it right. They just completely ignore Jailer.
Right.
And there it is.
There it is. Grab. Guido with the grab, magnet hands. Grab. And that's really tough. It definitely feels bad for the Awakening Megu. It's difficult. Like, how do you deal with the Zerker running at your face and saving grab only for you? No one else.
I think maybe there they could have played a little bit differently, because I noticed that Daji used his E buff and was probably thinking about going in with that, but your E is down. I mean, your V escape is down, and they know that. So I feel like the way Guido is playing this is just he has tabs on where Daji is at all times. Like, it doesn't matter if he's behind them on the left side corner of the map. He's always got his eyes out there waiting for Daji to make a mistake, maybe come in a little bit too close, and just immediately gets grabbed again.
Look how well they all rotate together in unison. Like, they are playing together. They know exactly how we're all going to play, what they need to do, and you can see on the feed.
There you go. Like, peels him again.
Peels again. Grabs the high priority target at the time, and it's just there. It is.
Lights out.
Lights out.
Yeah.
Proof. Hey, like you said, Zen, they are proving themselves. They are the previous champions, and they have so much experience together that it's really hard to, deal with a team that has that much synergy.
Yeah, and it's just a funny note to take into consideration is that since this tournament has started, or at least today in the quarters, the Proof has only played against Whomsbeatas in one way or another.
Oh, that's true, actually. They've only played against Whomsbeatas.
Yeah, so really, really good job by the Proof for, dispatching of the tons of Whomsbeatas that they have to fight against.
There's a meme in there for sure.
Yeah, so they'll be moving on to the grand finalist. Our first team to lock up that position, if we can bring up the bracket really quickly. There you go. Proof is locked in the first slot, and now we are going to be moving on to the Bloodline versus DSR. Anyone have any thoughts about this matchup that's coming up?
I'll leave this one to Zen.
I mean, we saw that Bloodline, as far as victory goes, was so confident, but it was completely reliant on whether or not Dylan got those CCs. I mean, he performed well. He had no issue, but can he do it again, right? Because Luminex and Jules are kind of just waiting for those opportunities. I mean, Dylan provided him once. Can he do it back to back? Dova was left alone during their matchup, right? And leaving that Draconia alone, where I feel like maybe the other Musa was starting to put pressure on Dova kind of late game, but it's very important that these contenders watch what they're going to fight in the future, that goes from now, but as well as what we just watched from kind of some of the strategies or some of the stuff that the reason why they have won could be the deciding factor while they'll lose in the future. So I definitely see opportunity for both teams to get the W, but I think on both sides, does Dova get left alone to be able to do what an Awakening Dracona needs to do, or does Dylan continue providing those CCs for the team to kind of feed him the kills?
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to pick your mind about with this team composition, Etsu, is that we see Luminix actually coming out on the Succession Sorcerers that we haven't seen from the other Sorcerers in this tournament. What do you think that his goal should be on that spec? Because it is a little bit different than Awakening.
It's a lot different. Succession Sorceress is... It's very interesting because you don't have S-Block, you don't have like that Scythe to bring out, you don't have Grim, but you have constant, like you're pretty much forced into the role of constantly being in that fight because the more hits you get off with your abilities, the more shard regeneration you get.
Yep.
You also have the big AoE KD with the Crowflare Flow. Honestly, the Succession Sorceress is actually very hard to catch if they're playing very well, if they're positioned well, and there's no enemy classes that can wrap around you really fast. It can be very difficult because you might find yourself in a situation where you're focusing the Succession Sorcerers too long and they'll get a catch on you, or their teammates will come and peel them. So it's honestly, Succession Sorc can be really good, but it's just going to depend on how well you can survive while dishing out damage back at them. But what do you think, Zen?
I just the opportunity for a Suck Sorc, really the only time you're going to be able to CC them is kind of a back that when they're in frontal. If you don't have somebody that has the opportunity to take advantage of frontal blocks, which I'm looking at the end, while we were kind of talking about that, I was looking at the enemy team and 0 block jumps. So the Suck Sorc is going to be a huge issue for them to deal with. The caster's probably going to have the best chance to kind of be able to get that TP off and do some back attack damage. But without the caster getting, I think the Suck Sorc is going to be a huge issue. I think Luminex loves this matchup right now. He is smiling.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see how things play out. We are going to jump out of the gate. Is anyone going to use the patio? Oh, looks like Bloodline is actually going to...
They've adapted.
They're going to take a page out of Proof's book and utilize the patio. Oh, actually, they're going to run towards the other one. Shuriken somehow on the ground already, and there's going to be the V. You do not want that at the beginning of the round. You're going to need to hold on to that V. Let's see how the mage is doing at this point. Hash is going to go around with the spin. Doesn't quite connect any CCs. Is that...
Nova V2 as well. That is 2...
Luminex is getting blown up.
Luminex blown up without using V, and I actually think I saw that Sorc in Grim Reaper's Judgment, if I'm not.
Well, he's a...
Oh, well, he's... Oh, I could have sworn I saw Grim. I could have sworn, but he's out of the match. So
okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
He's dead now.
he's dead now. We'll find out later. It looks like Shuriken, he's still alive. He did burn his V, but he didn't go down.
Doing
looks like
a lot
Dylan
of work right
is
now.
on the ground. He's dancing around him, but he's not overcommitting. Really smart play, forcing the mage to go back up his teammate. He is going to try and find that stun on the Hash, but doesn't quite connect. He does try to do a DPS trade, but everyone's in SA. He's getting chipped down a little bit, but not too much. Doing a good job just going around the fight, not taking too much damage. Dova Queen onto the ground. Are they going to force their V? Not quite.
This might be a big...
Actually, their V has already
right
been down. Jules is down. Looks like DSR has the advantage here. 3 versus 1 with Dylan alone. And yeah, we have the Draconia, we have the Musa, and the Mage. That's going to be, especially if you lose your Sorc and your Hash, the only classes that can chase him down. There's really no chance for Dylan to do anything
This
here.
might be a too tall of a task, even for a striker.
Right. Now, again, that's honestly... I could have... For some reason, I thought I saw Grim Reaper's Judgment, but we'll see. But it's going to be tough for a Sorc to go and try and chase down a Mage. And then that leaves who else can do it? Oh, maybe the Hash, but then the Hash might get DPS down.
Yeah, I really wonder what caught Luminix out in that round right there. But I'm guessing maybe he just wasn't wary about his side flank and someone just got up in there and, got him on his back.
Yeah, Shuriken did play super well, though.
Yeah.
He played very well, despite getting caught at the beginning.
If we were watching since we saw the Moose's POV, he was just being so annoying in the back there, peeling, wrapping around the back, and just, pressuring the Wizard. Wait, pressing the Wizard? Who's he pressuring? Sorry, he's on the Wizards team, but pressuring the enemy team, just making sure that they can't have any, mobility, just stuck in the infight, and they can't get out. But, yeah. Zen, do you have any thoughts about how we can get, a different result out of the team with the Succession Sorc here? Seems like they were...
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm trying to still run it back in my head what exactly happened at the beginning of the match.
Fast.
Like, what I don't understand how it wound up going from... So both teams went out. We mentioned earlier, hey, utilize the gazebos. It's going to be a huge advantage in your favor, right? So both looks like they took a note from the prior victors on the left side of the quarterfinals into the semi. But it looked like once one team decided, hey, they're both using gazebos, we're we're going to push. Sounds great until your Musa gets CC'd immediately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're going to leave line of sight, you better be an SA. Do not give that up.
Yeah.
100%. All right, well, let's go ahead and check out the next round. Let's see if DSR can keep the momentum or if Bloodline is going to adapt and pull out a win. All right, here we are at the start of the match. Gates have opened, and let's see what happens. All right, looks like DSR is going, or sorry, Bloodline is going to push DSR immediately. There is a lot of pressure from the Musa on him, Mage shipping him down. This is actually very good, forcing him to burn TP out, but unfortunately for them, he gets a double KD with Meteor, forcing 1v, not 2. Dylan held onto it. He did manage to catch someone, though. I think it was Dovahqueen. Dovahqueen isn't going to burn the V just yet, however. And it looks like that Sork is Awakening. That is an Awakening Sork. That is Soul Reaper. That is Rushing Crow. He is on Awakening for this match. Which
I don't know if anybody noticed that right there on the right side. Dova actually went down to 0% HP from a bleed in the fight, but it was 0.
Down to single digits. Yeah.
But he's back up to 64% HP.
Immediately
the Mage
being
goes
bursted
down and actually is bursted down immediately. Dovahqueen taken out of the fight as well, and leaving it up to only the Musa to do something. That all happened in the span of 10 seconds. That was crazy. No V was used by the Mage. I don't think he believed he was going to go down that fast. It all happened really quickly, leaving things only to the Musa to try and find a catch. But yeah, he's just going to get sucked in right here. He does manage to get a knockdown. He gets another additional knockdown, actually forcing a V, but he's also going to forcing his own V, actually. Sorry. So it's going to leave the others trying to find him. He does pick a good V spot behind the patio. But yeah, right here, it's I think, are we going to leave him to the honorable 1v1? Not quite. He is going to get stunned. There's a battle war cry. He's put on the ground, double KD into down smash, and there it is.
Yeah, it seems like the Musa is really doing his job.
He's doing phenomenal. He's always going in. He's just chip damaging and maybe going for like a safe trade, forcing the Mage to TP, and then that leaves his teammates to go ahead and jump on the Mage as well.
Yeah, but seems like his teammates are just getting picked off a little bit too quickly here.
Yeah, no, if you have the DPS to afford to not focus the caster fully to DPS down his teammates, yeah, I mean, we all saw what happened there.
Yeah, and hopefully they can find some adaptations here. I feel like I want to see more coming out from the Dracania. It hasn't seemed to be that impactful yet in this set.
It's hard. It's tough. Yeah. There's not a lot of breathing room for him. All right, let's go and check out that next match. It is 1-1 Bloodline DSR. Let's see who takes the next round here, unless it's a draw. We've seen draw twice. We've seen that twice.
Could happen, but I feel like these guys understand how to close out the match once they get that first pick.
Eva from Luminix right off the bat. Let's see how aggressive they're going to play. Sugarkin against the wall. Does manage to move out. He does try to do some SA damage trading there, and just dancing around the outskirts. Looks like a V was actually burned from Dovahqueen already. Sugarkin getting DPS down to 80%, but he's just fine. He's taking those damage trades. Dovahqueen, it's very difficult for this Awakening Dracania to just exist versus the Sork, Striker, and the Hash. There's really not much of an opportunity to find someone. Looks like Dovahqueen is getting chipped down, but not completely focused. Dylan with that battle cry does manage to find the sun, but doesn't follow up. And yeah, as Zen said, there is a V from the caster. Let's see if they're able to put more pressure on him. Sork playing the outskirts, playing really safe. Let's see if we can go and find someone. Dylan on the ground, actually being focused here. His V is still up. All V's up on Bloodline sign. Let's see if they can try to make a turnaround play. Jules on the ground right here, forced to V. That's 2 V's down on DSR side. Bloodline only losing 1 V. Let's see what they can do. Shuriken on the ground. Leg drop actually drops on top of him, but doesn't manage to force him to V, and he's going to back out of the fight. You could see Hash right there doing that block jump out of nowhere. Luckily for Shuriken, it doesn't connect, and he's just fine. Trying to find that catch with Dragon Bite, but doesn't quite connect, and he goes back into Awakening. Looks like Sork is sitting in Nightmare right here, watching the outskirts of the fight. Rejoining his Hash on the side, manages to find an ignition catch onto Dovahqueen, forcing the V out right there.
So I think it's actually very scary here, because although Shuriken's V is not down, both of his teammates do not have V. So for him to play this, anytime he decides that he wants to V as well, it's just so much pressure put on his teammates because they have no more escape out of these situations.
Right, and you can see right here, it feels like there's pressure on everyone. Dovahqueen can't find this grab on Sork. Sork repositions with his teammates. Jules on the ground, but DPS really low. You can see that Rayla is getting a lot of focus onto them. Really low. Jules is also really low. I feel like this match is the first time we've seen that the Mage has been given so much pressure that they cannot free cast fully.
There we go. Jules falling
actually
over.
Manages to catch Jules. Very phenomenal job. Wonderful play right there. Very good turnaround, and it looks like Luminix is getting DPS out of the fight. He's so slowed from the lightning abilities from the mage, and now he's playing on the back foot, really low, probably low on stamina, and he's
being so annoying though. He's just playing the outskirts, going in and backing out, resetting with his nightmare if he has to, and just being a nuisance to the enemy team.
Right. Notice how he's not afraid to actually try and go for a catch onto the striker, but I feel like you have to. Oh, actually, that's his teammate. Sorry. But yeah, you have to go in and take these risks, because what else can you do? Now, again, that mage doesn't have their their V, so I feel like that's going to be the best case scenario. Actually, two of his teammates go down in a matter of, like, in an instant, leaving the mage alone for 1v2. Can he manage to pull this off?
Gotta run.
We're going to have to watch, like, every round, I feel like. This is crazy. That DD comes out, doesn't
huge knockdown on Dylan. Maybe they can get him. He's pretty tanky, though.
Yep, Dylan on the ground. Mage repositions on the outskirts. Tries to throw in some DPS. Re-heals himself. There is 3 seconds left. It looks like they are going to play for HP, and the win is going to go to Bloodline for the second round. Wow.
Action-packed.
Action-packed. DSR had that so close. We didn't see on camera, I think, but Dova Clean took out Jules out of nowhere. Everything was looking good, but out of nowhere again, like, we saw 2 of them go down, like, in just 3 seconds.
I'm really surprised to see that so Bloodline taking the win on that one. I thought the team with the caster was going to have it in the bag, especially with that last second. But to win HP in a 2v2 with not having the heal in your team, like you would really think that the caster would be able to. He must have had Lighthouse on cooldown. I mean, one ability like that could have completely changed whether or not they're going into match point. But the synergy, what I'm noticing is if you kind of keep an eye out on the Musa and the cast,
he is being annoying.
They're side by side with one another. Watch it almost kind of feels like this is Succession caster, but it almost feels like the Musa is the Succession caster's like Awakening caster pet. Like watch how he almost sends them out. Watch the synergy they have, and then he runs right back to the caster again. Like keep an eye on the Musa.
Right, the Musa.
Immediately getting grabbed by Dylan right there.
Getting grabbed by the striker immediately. It looks like he's going to greed the V, but he's forced to burn it. Not a situation you wanted. He should have V'd right away, but now he's going to come out with 18% HP. Is someone going to manage to find him? No, not quite yet. And there's the Lighthouse right there. He does manage to recuperate himself. Jules stunned on the ground from the Musa. Is put on the ground. Is he going to be forced to V as well? He's actually DPS out of the fight too. That's 1V on both sides.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe not having the heal for your teammates is going to be a very bad situation for DSR, but they immediately chunk Jules down as well.
Right. You know what I noticed right here? Jules actually taken out of the fight already. This team, Bloodline, even though they lost Jules, they're actually doing so good at trading who's going to focus the caster. It goes from Musa on the caster to he burned his TP. Now the striker goes towards them, and it's almost like they're constantly rotating, trading targets. And yeah, this team is playing very well, even though they lost Jules, but maybe they'll have a chance to take him out. Again, there is a V, 2 Vs down on DSR side. One pick could mean the difference here. Shuruken does take down Luminix. That is going to leave Dylan in a 1v3. Probably, you know, I won't say he can't. We've seen 1v3s before.
But he's just going to dance.
That's being dance.
Yeah, actually very impressive coming out from Dovahclean in this last 2 rounds that we've had here. It seems like he's been doing very impactful things on the map. Yeah,
that first round he was struggling, but I feel like after the first round he's like, okay, we got to change something up. And his teammates are going to put pressure on the mage, giving him room to also do follow-up plays
as well. And he just find the kills when no one expects him to just be in the fight there and just jumping on people when they least expect it.
Yeah.
And then there we go. This is 2-2 though. This is tight.
2-2. We love a good round 5.
Yeah. So, do we have any thoughts about what's going to be, you know, maybe something that a team has to change up going into the final round here? Because I feel like each team has a pretty good read on each other and how they like to play. So,
I don't know about. That's tricky because I actually feel like maybe DSR should keep the same strategy, and that was just like an unlucky round the last one. But I'm not sure.
I think as far as it's difficult to kind of pinpoint, it's obvious that Caster has to go. It's obvious that Dova has to be taken out too as well. But as far as on the flip side, right, with Dylan, a Musa, and a Hat, who is their primary target? Right? Because they've kind of been rotating it around. It kind of looks, if I had to guess one so far, Jules did get taken out right there. He actually got killed the moment he uses. So he came out of the V, pops an E-buff, and then died right after during the SA of popping that. So the Hash looks like their primary target, but the rounds that they did wind up winning was when Dova got immediately removed from the fight, and once Dova's down, they kind of landslided it into their victory. But if the Draconi is left alone, We've seen the damage they could do.
Yeah.
They will take it home. They will win the match.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see.
Let's hop in
and see what happens. This, man, I gotta say, you are not kidding, Zen. You console PvPers are built different. Well, it looks like we're not playing at the patio right here. We're playing on towards the enemy side right here at spawn. Luminix going in for a Soul Reaper trade, doesn't quite find it. Ignition doesn't connect. Looks like Shuriken is trying to go for that Crush Crusher, doesn't quite land. Battlecry coming out for Striker, doesn't land either. But Luminix is getting chipped down in the fight. He's going to be forced into Nightmare.
An early V from Dova.
Oh, and there is, yeah, like Zen said, early V from Dova. Already, that's not a good sign, but let's see if he can keep up the momentum. He's playing with his teammates there. But yeah, Shuriken just trying to find a target, dodging and weaving, zigzagging, trying to find someone. Dova Queen unfortunately put on the ground. Is KD with Nightmare? Is it going to be enough DPS? He manages to stand up.
Okay.
He doesn't have his V, but he's completely fine right here. And the
Healing
mage is caught.
Luminix just hard swap?
It looks like the...
Well,
Jules
maybe
was
some
taken out off screen. It's a 3v2 now. DSR having the 3 players. The mage did manage to V early when he was caught by the sword. Really smart play. Dova Queen put on the ground. Is going to be the next target to go down, but actually he gets away and he's fine. Luminix is going to pop that E buff knowing that Vs are down on the other side. And things are just looking in their favor. He's now free to go for good trades. Now Arsha is going to, Dylan is going to find that grab onto the mage. He's going to be put on the ground and he's going to be taken out. And with that, now it's a 2v2 back to even, and both teams playing so well and they're at a disadvantage, by the way. That's crazy. Like, you guys are killing it. Looks like Dova Queen is put on the ground. KD, is that going to be enough?
Huge
Unfortunately, it is.
Queen.
And it's going to be Musa 1v2. Now, to be honest here, if he somehow catches the sword while somehow not getting grabbed or DPS down, which I now realize is a lot of conditions to meet, but if he can do it, you know?
I mean, he's a few seconds away from those HP being locked to 50%. If he's going to do it at any point in time, it's going to be then. But he's going to have to immediately remove that Sork and play for it. He definitely can win on that. He's not going to kill this Striker.
Oh no, but it looks like dashing
not when you're on the
forward,
ground.
He got CC'd. He most likely went into dash at the wrong time, and there was a little bit of a gap right there. Unlucky.
HP bars are evened up now across the board.
Yep, HP bars evened up. Ooh, and
yeah,
it's
huge
just
chunk.
Look at the
it's
chip
so
just
tough to try and
existing
go for
near
it.
his opponents.
Yeah.
Yep. Right here you can see he's backpedaling. The other team is not needlessly chasing him. They're just working together in unison, trying to chase him down. He's just fine for now, but all these dashes coming out is going to force him to be at his stand. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. He's going to DPS towards the Sork. Sork actually getting very low. If he plays his cards right and the Sork gets greedy, he might be able to take him out. Nightmare. The Sork is in Nightmare. Maybe he can get a catch the moment he comes out. Not quite sure here. Doesn't quite find it. Does try to go for a little stun catch right there. Very smart play, and he's just going to dodge and weave, but with 20 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be enough. He manages to dodge the Battlecry stun, and now he's getting chipped down to 20%, and it looks like, yeah, he's just getting slowed. 10 seconds left on the clock, and it must be annoying for him to deal with, but Bloodline knows that, hey, we don't have to let our ego get in the way. We don't have to go in. We're just going to wait it out.
Oh,
and
not like this.
Not like this. It looks like they're going to take the win.
Yeah, I was going to say I really like the adaptations coming out from the side of DSR. It seems like they were applying just enough pressure to Luminix to just get him out of the fight, but they would never overchase on the Sorceress.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, if you're going to be having your Dracania like face-to-face with the Awakened Assassin and also a Striker, it's just too much.
It's too much.
Yeah. So
I know I mentioned it a few times already, but having the caster, not just for the heals, but at about on the 5th round at 2 minutes 10 seconds in, see once again the huge pressure going on within the center of the arena, everyone just piling on top of one another, and the caster can sit there. He's not being pressured. He's sitting there from render range and deciding, you know what, meteors, I could do high voltage, but instead I'm going to go in and PA my team, because them doing DPS unbothered by damage gives them a much better opportunity. So I'd love to see
opportunity and confidence.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull that up.
Yeah, which round?
5th round, 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock.
All right, let's go ahead and get that started.
You'll see a lot of pressure in the middle, a lot of damage going off in SCC2 as well. But watch the Sork, or the caster jump in and wind up.
I actually think the caster didn't have to be there, but he played it safe because before he waited too long and got picked off.
Jules gets taken out.
But it's also
kind of caster's playing off to the side right now.
Yeah, it seems like they almost like completely forgot about him after he V'd.
Just left alone. Dova's on the ground. Now Dova going down to 8%. Caster going in, looking now, noticing seeing Dova low on HP. Now I think Dova actually wound up getting away. So as far as kind of whether or not she got the PA or not, but Ray seeing my teammates in danger, I think a lot of people kind of forget that we are playing an MMO, right? There is tests, there's healers, there's support. It may not be as much as as far as like more of the holy trilogy, but there is still support within the dies, but still gets his PA off. He got his heals off. But unfortunately, not enough to kind of turn the round. But having that caster in our team, having that support, having that extra utility classes don't offer, I think is kind of what makes or breaks a team.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And it looks like, yeah, I mean, they definitely did have some good adaptations throughout the match, but it seems like just some miscommunications around the edges just, cost them the round there. I feel like you see that Rayleigh's coming in for that huge PA on Dova, but I think having just the miscoms there, I think Dova just V'd out of that situation. And just
I think she V'd away from the PA, yeah.
Let's actually take a look at 2 rounds ago from this match. Since we know what's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also had a lot of kills off screen. It seems like people were just falling over.
We love the Gojo off screen.
Yeah, the off screen fights go crazy in this set here.
All right, and yep, this is 2 rounds ago. And all the
I have a note here for round 3. At 2 minutes, if you kind of watch the caster and Musa, watch how they're paired up for the next minute. Musa goes out, does damage, goes back, peels for the caster. Musa goes out, does damage. Watch. He's going to kind of thing where he's right now he's doing damage. Gets grabbed. He's going to wind up backing off. Caster's in the background right now around the gazebo. Goes right back to the caster again. Caster's getting pressured.
It's like they're peeling for each other.
Yes. No, watch him. He backs off again, right to the caster again. He sees Dylan on the caster, goes and tries to help him. And kind of that back and forth piggyback, right? Just not just playing your own fight, playing as a team. Right, and as an individual player, we've seen some of the teams that have been eliminated have phenomenal individual plays. But if all 3 people are not going off, I remember earlier on, right? I said that had kind of, or no, it was Bloodline that I mentioned had more of a well-rounded team, right? They were fighting an opponent that kind of had their star player, but it's all 3, right? The performance of all 3 coming to get you the win.
Yeah. Especially in these high stakes situations, you have to understand that everyone is probably going to be locked in and knowing that someone is taking too much pressure on this side and we can abuse this person is probably the weak link, so you can't just rely on one person to win the match.
Right. Yeah, right there we saw Jules got off screen right there. Luminix getting really low, gets slowed down by the caster at this point. There's not enough pressure put on the caster, but Luminix doesn't greet it. He just goes out of the fight and keeps himself safe.
And there you go. Just buying that space for your team and then just peeling back.
Right, there's the DPS trade. There's the game.
Watching the striker Dylan just kind of main character, just be in the middle of it. He doesn't matter that he's at 20% HP. He doesn't care. It could be 5, it could be 100. He plays the same no matter what. He will full focus anything. Yes, exactly. As long as he's an SA, he is not in danger. And just the constant pressure. I think as far as this matchup goes, the caster kind of felt the heat a bit more than he did in the prior matches because they know they've seen how he did in his quarterfinals fight. That if he's left alone, he's going to be just too much damage to ignore.
Yeah. Right. Shuriken did, I believe, get caught. Someone got caught. And what I really want to bring focus to is the Sork. Sork doesn't have grab, so he's like, well.
Fortunately.
What am I going to do? I can't peel this guy, so what am I going to do? I'm immediately dashing towards the range caster who's going to be dumping down DPS now that someone's down and push him off my teammate, and that actually allowed his teammate to hop back up and they could reset there. So really good plays. This is the difference between okay, you're playing the comp and the difference between playing a comp and being a super star player. These little things instead of staying right there and greeting it and trying to DPS the guy off my teammate. I'm going to exert pressure on the enemy and push him off in hopes that my teammate gets back up and moves away.
I feel like this is really the difference here, just adapting on the fly to, of course, we on both sides of these teams, these are all great players. They understand what the main goal is for their team comp, but just being able to adapt on the fly and making really minute decisions that can change the flow of the match.
Absolutely.
Is what we're seeing. So, why don't we pull up the bracket? Unless someone wants to see another replay, I think we are good, right?
No, I'd love to see the bracket.
Okay, let's bring
All
it back
right,
up.
let's check it out. We are moving to the finals. Oh, oopsie. My bad.
Spoilers.
Pre-finals.
So we're gonna play our third place match first before we have our grand finals. And can we quickly bring the two teams up on the screen right now? It's gonna be Whom's Beat Us with Dodgy Bunny, Poppy Avatar, and Jailer versus DSR with Dova Queen, Surigiken. I'll get it right one of these days, and Rayleigh. I feel like both these teams have shown their glimpses of excellence, but I would say Whom's Beat Us is just more grounded and more stable with how they're playing these matches out. They have a clear goal every single round, and it seems like they have a really good understanding of how to, drive this composition that they have going on here. DSR has kind of a little bit more of a wonky comp with Dracania being a very big threat on the map, but also kind of needing support as well from her teammates.
Right. I actually think DSR at this point in the matches, we've seen Dova Queen successfully adapting with each round.
Yeah.
I actually kind of feel like they have a really good chance of taking this. The Musa playing really well with the mage, Dova Queen
Definitely.
playing the role a little better. I actually see them winning this match.
Okay, so I've got Whom's Beat Us, and it looks like Etsu's got the Bloodline. What about you, Zen?
I think Whom's is going to take it. I don't know how they're going to deal with the Mystic. I just don't see an answer for how tanky Jailer is.
That's true.
We've seen almost every match he's done. He's nearly immortal. He's so tanky, people have been ignoring him. So if you have that unstoppable force on your team that the enemy team then has to deal with, and you have a caster, right, that's going to be a high value target, who's going to keep the Mystic away from the caster?
This is true. Yeah.
That's my biggest worry.
Yeah, who are you going to run to? You can't run to the Musa. He's running away, too.
Exactly. Well, let's go get right into things and see who's going to take this third place match. We have seen scenarios where...
Okay, yeah, looks like we're good to go.
Awesome. Sorry about that. All right, they are going to move towards the patio out of sight and move towards the center. There's going to be a lot of rage casting from DJ Bunny. No pressure put onto them just yet. Looks like there is a grab. Double KD.
Wow, huge coming up from Poppy Avatar.
Right, Rayleigh is going to be forced to V early. That's actually very problematic. All three Vs going down on DSR side, while Whom's Beat Us, they have their E-buffs, they have their Vs. They might just be able to save everything for the next round.
Yeah, I think you're seeing what I mentioned earlier come to fruition now. It's just the team comp coming out from Whom's Beat Us is just applying so much pressure.
Right, but Dova Queen's actually going to get the turnaround into... Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right. No, sorry, that is exactly
He's getting the turnaround and he's waking up in the graveyard.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just too much. They have all this agency on the battlefield, and it's still so hard for DSR to be able to do anything.
Right.
There goes
just
first
like
round.
That's 50 seconds, a clean round. Yeah, you were right. Honestly, with Dracania sitting in frontal there, with the Awakening Megu having free reign to just go behind with that block jump, it's tough.
And I believe, was that, I haven't played Warrior in a hot minute here, but that...
Solar Flare grab?
I don't think it was a Solar Flare. He did charge up, was it the, what was it, the big swing where he just charged in with
rip? I don't think it's called Merciless.
But anyways,
I know what you're talking about, the KD.
He got two people,
KD.
and it was just, from that point on, I think it was just lights out for DSR. They had no time to recover from that, and their teammates just got evaporated on the ground while they were laying there.
Yeah.
I don't even think Whom's team I don't think they lost more than 20% HP.
Yeah,
I mean, with that, going from starting your round off of that, the confidence is going to be feeling pretty good. They need to be humbled this next round, so let's see some damage.
Sorry guys, caster curse. Didn't mean to place it on you. Let's go ahead and check out that next round. It is ready here. Let's see if DSR can bring it back again. This is not a 1st to 3 anymore. This is a 1st to 4. So, can DSR take a win? Or will this be the end? That was kind of a bar.
This guy's just rapping on the desk now.
All right, there's the spear from Pappy Avatar. Doesn't quite connect. Dova Queen wrapping behind him, but he does find the grab onto the mage. Exactly what he needs to do. Mage cannot survive through that. Yep, he's taken down really low, forced to get out of the fight. Will the V be found? Unfortunately, it is found. He has his number, but will the wall keep him protected? We'll see here. And unfortunately, it's not. Bloodhound. Pappy Avatar has that sound turned all the way up. He said, "Where is he?" And he found him immediately. Dova Queen trying to get the counter, but unfortunately, he gets countered and put onto the ground and into his V. And things are not looking too good for our heroes right here over at DSR.
Yeah,
Oh
very
my,
interesting
there's
composition
Delaqueen.
coming out, but it just seems like it's
And
so
another
insufferable.
grab.
But
Are you kidding me? Has he missed a grab just yet?
yeah, Poppy Avatar is just putting on a clinic right now, showing Warriors how it's done in a 3v3 AOA setting. It's just too free right now. He's just going
like,
in no fear.
You thought you saw those last rounds? You thought I wasn't a threat?
Yeah,
Seriously?
crazy.
That was crazy.
I mean, in an unkept tournament like this too as well, right? Like gear score average is going to play a factor, and when you have a warrior that has no respect for your opponent's damage, he's gonna run wild. He's gonna run wild. There's nobody on the enemy team that he's gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I won't just go run up and grab you. What's the repercussions? He ends up on the ground, loses 10% HP.
Yeah. Will I die?
Exactly.
No, exactly.
He has no worries. As long as he gets that grab, he's gonna get that.
It's not only about those yes, it is actually only about the grab, but it's the fact that he keeps landing it like over and
Well, you
over
saw in the
over.
first round. I think it's called Reckless Swing, maybe with the charge
Or
up.
reckless blow, maybe.
Reckless blow, but
Yeah.
he just goes in there with any one of his CSCs, doesn't care, just
He's
lets
like,
it
I don't
rip. Yeah.
Because the thing is, whoever goes into him trying to do that, like Dovahqueen, they're actually gonna get punished hard from all the DPS being thrown out.
So we're coming into this third round here. Let's see if DSR has what it takes to turn the tides of battle here. Maybe they learn
I'm just not sure what they can do.
We'll see. I feel like maybe they can try to bait Poppy Avatar into a bad engage and see if they can keep their eyes peeled for some of his teammates that are also coming in with him. Maybe they can open up on one of them.
Yeah, I do feel like DJ Bunny is the one to go for, but unfortunately, like as you can see right there, the moment he got targeted, he just dashed right in with his teammates, and the other two were off. He is playing the outskirts really well. Rayla tossing out damage from the outskirts. Is tossing in lightning, trying to slow, but Poppy Avatar does not care. He's just running at him. Is he going to do it again? And he's just going to keep approaching. Doesn't get CC'd by that meteor, and he's just holding block. He's just standing there menacingly. What can you do? The aura
just
is
him
unmatched.
being near him is enough, right? You halt the damage, but then right there he gets a CC on him, right?
It's only a matter of time.
You fake it a few times, but once you get that CC, then I mean at this point, right? He's already V'd. The pressure's going to be on him. Bunny's right now just chasing around trying to get that final hit on him. They take out the caster, it's over. At the moment right now, Hooms has not popped an E-buff or V. I mean, they're feeling like $1 million right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Right, and you can see no one has an answer for that warrior. He's just free to run at him at all times and look constantly, and now he's forced to retreat back towards the main fight. But Poppy Avatar does not care.
Block, I think.
Did break his block, but is that going to be enough? He does. Let's see if he did.
Rayleigh is playing really well right now, just keeping him at max range if possible.
Bunny down to 22%.
But
yeah, got chunked on the side. Poppy's on his back right now.
Is put on the ground. Is he going to be forced to V? Not quite. Is he going to manage to get the grab? And just that constant pressure, even though he's 30% HP, he doesn't care at all.
He got up and ran right at the caster. No
like,
respect at all.
Oh, and it looks like
Dovahqueen
was KD'd on the ground and taking out the fight. DJ Bunny getting pierced down to 24% HP right there. Let's see if they can try and get a counter turnaround on him. Not quite. It looks like Ray...
yeah, at the end of the day, it's just worth it for Daji because at the end of the day, once he gets the kill, he can just reset, start raining in range damage, and it's just... Yeah,
they put on the ground and look at that. That warrior... Sorry, Poppy Avatar constantly has his number. He cannot breathe. Every time he TPs, he does that 180 mouse turn to look back in the main fight. Wait, he's in front of me.
Sees a massive greatsword at his front door.
Huh? And it looks like, I'm sure Yukin is going to get DPS down as he tries to run away. An unfortunate situation, 3v1. But yeah, Bloodline looks to appear to be taking the win here for the third round. And yeah, you guys were right. Hooms beat his comp. If you don't have enough DPS for that warrior... if DJ Bunny were seeing him being able to fully play without any risks, without any focus put onto him, they're all able just to play off each other and do whatever they want, and the enemy team can't do a single thing.
Yeah, and I feel like this is one of the first matches we've seen today that was just quite a hard comp diff, where it's just you really can't do much against the composition that you're playing up against.
I don't know if gear with Poppy Avatar, I don't know, but they're playing so well and they have that confidence.
Yeah, it's
when you're in a scenario like this, you really have to play. The only thing you can control is the rules of the game, right? You have a 3-minute match with HP diminishing, and you get to pick who's on your team. So DSR right now, they are up against a wall, but the only opportunity they have to kill people that have so much DR on them is to kind of wait out the time. We saw, I believe, not this team, but very similar to what Proof did to the other Hooms, was waited out to the last 1 minute, then pop your E-buffs and try to burst them down then, right? So
and play the patio.
just because you don't have the damage initially, then play the patio, does not mean that you can't win, right? You can hold off and kind of look. DSR, what they have is speed. Every single one of their classes on their team is faster than the opponents, minus maybe the Awakening Megu.
Yeah.
So look, this is your moment right here. This is third place victor. If you need a kite for 2 minutes, you got to do it. No one's going to judge you on it. So if you have to wait till 50 seconds, make it happen. Save those e-buffs. Do what Proof did.
Yeah, especially since your backs are up against the wall here. You're going to definitely have to edge out these wins here if you try to stay alive here. Yeah. But I think Zen's onto something here. You definitely have to wait until these moments where it's like very, very tense coming down the clock and just get in there, do some quick damage, and disengage before you lose too much health yourself.
Right on. Well, shall we? Let's get right into the next match. This is potentially the final match for the third place. Let's see if Whom's Betas, without a space, takes the win. All right, looks like there's going to be an e-buff immediately from Pappy Avatar. He plans to go straight in. Is it going to connect? Is he going to find a grab? Doesn't quite find it. He does keep the shield up. Very intimidating. Blocks the meteor. Goes towards the mage, though. And look at him. He's forced to double TP away completely. Looks like
a triple e-buff from DSR within seconds of the match, too, as well. So clearly they have something else in mind.
Put onto the ground, and he's forced to V. Oh, no. Oh, actually, I was wrong about the e-buff coming out from the Warrior at the start, but now the e-buff is out.
It's definitely out now.
It's on site. Mage doesn't have grab. We don't care about literally anything else. Mage is like, oh my god, I got a PA now. Like, I might die right here, but it looks like Shurugukin does get put onto the ground. Isn't forced to V just yet. Jailer looking over at the Mage. Doesn't quite find the grab. Pappy Avatar looking for it. Forces Rayleigh to TP away, throwing out a heal. Shurugukin forced to V. All 3 Vs down from DSR sides with the HP bars not moving on Whom's Beta side. And things are not looking too good. They're still up, but Dova Queen is going to go down right now, but he actually manages to barely survive. And you can see, just like ants, they're swarming him to the other side of the arena, and they do manage to find that catch. Now it's just free reign onto the Mage. Will he have a chance? He manages to CC Jailer, but there's no way they're going to have enough DPS without Dova Queen, unless he is down to 10% HP.
Dropping a little bit of heals for himself, but right back down the ground.
What a confident victory right there. A lot of pressure.
Confident victory.
Super dominant. No signs of weakness from Whom's Beta, and they just close it out 4-0.
Yeah, no, they played phenomenal, honestly. That's a tough team to fight. I wouldn't even feel bad. Like, that is... I don't even know what I would do versus Pappy Avatar.
It's kind of hard to see what kind of adaptations that DSR could have made on the spot there to see how they would be able to approach this. I just feel like your job as a Musa there is just... You know, it's insurmountable. With the team comp you're going up against, there's just no way you can get in there and really do anything meaningful while your Wizard is just getting ran down by the Warrior.
Yeah.
As long as the Whom's teammates can keep up with the Awakening Megu's movement, then the Awakening Megu has no concerns, right? There's enough AoE around them to kind of protect them, right? You got the grab from the Warrior. You have multiple AoE CCs available on the Whom's comp, and then it just lets the Megu do exactly what it did during the prelims last week. Just run wild. I mentioned it earlier, and he didn't get the opportunity, but yeah, I mean, there's that Megu is having a great day today. I promise you that.
Yeah, he's like, finally, I can play.
This is my moment. This is my moment.
Yeah, no berserkers with massive burly hands on the enemy team.
Guido's not here. I can play the game now.
Yeah. But yeah, really good match coming out from Whom's Betas. Congratulations on locking in that third place finish. Can we bring up the brackets really quick, GM Dennis, and let's just check things out?
Yeah, looks like, yeah.
Well, I guess we aren't showing here. But yes, Whom's Betas without the space. As you can definitely see from the last round, there was no space to breathe with this team. They just completely got in there and decimated their opponent. And we will be moving on to the grand finals in just a moment here. Maybe we could have like a 1-minute intermission for people to just refresh really quickly and get a little bit of water before this final match is played out. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be back. So, yeah, hope to see you then.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
Yeah, and right now we have our 2 grand finalists coming up in this round here. There are no mystery to the crowd here. We have the Proof going up against Bloodline. Some newer names coming up on the right side of the bracket. Maybe you have some things to share about these players here. Zed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ironically, these people are actually all, they fought alongside one another in Siege. This is mainly the Siege Guild Arsha. So right now, I know Fields and Proteus is rocking the op guild tag, more of like a merc guild, like a side guild. But these are all teammates. They all know each other, which, like, once again, kind of going back to the fact that the console community is very small. Everybody knows how everybody plays. Very similar how we saw earlier on Motoko as a Sork. We may have seen multiple Awakening Sorks, but they all play a little different. So once you kind of get that lock on and be like, hey, I know that guy plays a little passively. I know that he does this ability after this ability. Kind of using that prior knowledge from those like BA fights or open world fighting can play a big kind of a role within these, right? So we've seen Sebs, Fields, and Proteus fight plenty today, but they've also seen it on the flip, right? So they know that Luminex has died in the past without Ving. They know, hey, if we put enough pressure on him, we can kill him. We know that Dylan is incredibly tanky and is kind of like the setup combo for the rest of the team. So if we kind of keep Dylan out of the fight, then the rest of the team can kind of be easy picks. So, but on the flip side of that, right, we know that Sebs is not really going to be a frontline. He's going to kind of play out to the side, wait for Proteus to get those grabs, let Fields kind of run around and do the battle cry and spiral cannon, whatever he can do to kind of initiate. But if they can kind of keep pressure on the back end on Sebs and not allow him to kind of just freely rat around in the back, then Sebs gets taken out. They can win by HP. They don't have to kill Fields. They don't have to kill Guido. So they can play the timer on this. This is AOA. This is not open world. So I think not just, like I said, class knowledge, but knowing the people. These are the same people you fight alongside or against every day. Yeah. So I'm very curious to see who takes it. Yeah,
I'm really curious to see how Bloodline deals with this, like, almost insurmountable force coming out from the
No
Proof
kidding.
side. Etsu, do you have any insight on what they can do to maybe break this formation that they have coming out from
Honestly,
the Proof
it
side?
really is a toss-up because you have mirroring on both sides of Sork and I believe a Berserker, but with the difference being a Hash and a...
Well, actually, the side coming out from Bloodlines is going to be an Awakened Hash, an Awakened Sorcerer, and Awakened Striker. So a little bit of a different team comp, maybe the same idea with the Striker and the Berserker providing the same, like, tanky skirmisher in the mid fight, and we have these just assassins on the side who are able to maybe hopefully come in and cause some disruption.
I do think there's going to be a lot of focus on the skirmishers, especially potentially that Hash.
Yeah.
Because you're probably not going to chase too hard into a Sork.
I think we've already known that, seeing how well Seth plays, I think you can't go for the Sork anymore. That's just not an option.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
But yeah, we're just going to have to see. Are they the worthy ones in the bloodline, or is Proof going to prove themselves that they are the previous champions?
Okay, so before we hop into the match, let's see what you guys got.
You first.
Well, you see, I'm always a man of statistics, and I always believe in looking at the numbers, checking the books to see.
Is this true?
So I think I'm going to go with Bloodline this time.
Wait, but statistically, Proof is one.
Statistically, Bloodline's got a better payout, so I mean, like, I got to go for the Hail Mary,
okay,
you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
So anyways, I feel like there might be a little bit of, I think Proof is going to take it too, but I want Bloodline to show us what they can do.
You can't just vote for both sides.
No,
That
I'm
is
still
crazy.
voting for Bloodline.
Pick one.
I'm going with Bloodline.
You can't. That's messed up because you just voted for Bloodline and said low key, but you lose. That's what
No.
you said.
No.
You
Okay,
did just say that.
I'm going to put my trust in Bloodline. I feel like maybe they can open up on Guido because it has been exposed in the past round when they played that the gods can bleed. You can see this giant behemoth that is the Berserker.
This very scary Berserker that's trying to hug you.
Yeah, he also does have a weakness, so if we can get Guido down, there might be a way to claw us back for Bloodline here and just take the round from Proof. And I think it might even be more potent because they might not be used to having Guido take so much pressure from the enemy team. But keeping up with Guido is definitely going to be kind of hard because the Succession Berserker is just, the guy's just rabid. He's just running everywhere, right? So what about you guys?
Voting for Proof, personally. I do think Sebs does a really good job
So
at...
boring, man. Go on.
How are we feeling, Zen? Who are we voting for?
Look, I'm gonna end the tournament the same way I started the tournament. I would like to see a new grand champion. So I need them to lock in. This isn't
about what
and
you
take
like.
Proof
What
down.
do you think
Look, I'm
is
gonna
going to happen? What do you
into
expect?
Proof takes the L right now. I'm speaking it into existence.
We're giving them our
We're gonna
energy.
fumble.
The
Speaking it
Bloodline's
into
got it.
existence implies
It's gonna
that
happen.
You
Yeah, it's
feel
gonna
like
happen.
Proof's gonna win, huh? Interesting. Okay.
All right, so the panelists have
I'm just saying
spoken.
controllers have batteries, maybe.
All right.
All right, well, let's get right into things and get on to the final match of today's Arsha Console 2025 tournament.
All right, grand finals. Let's see.
All right, and it looks like, yep, they are going to play that patio right there off to the left side. Very smart. They're going to get themselves situated, but it looks like Luminix is going in on Succession Sork now, swapping off the Awakening. He's just swapping back and forth. It's actually interesting to see how he's going to play into this team comp on Succession. Is he going to get run down or DPS down? Looks like Dylan is going to go on the ground, forced to V already on the Striker. Actually, I'm not sure we usually see that from him. Guido does find that grab onto Jules. Yep, Jules. Jules is down to 40% HP. He is forced to V. That's 2 Vs down on the Bloodline sign. And Proof is really bringing down their A-game. He actually finds a sniff with the bomb flow, gets a reflow, and they do manage to take him out. Proof is taking out
Okay,
one
on the other side, though, they got Guido. They traded.
Oh, my. Wait, that happened
What
so
happened
fast.
to Guido?
What happened to Guido?
Maybe
I didn't
we
even
could
know his HP
check it
could
out
move
after,
that fast.
Let's see if we can get that on the replay, but that was definitely a huge pick coming out from Bloodline, getting a priority target down.
Now it's up to Sork. Sork Striker here on both sides. It's very interesting to see what's going to happen. Looks like there is a grab down, but Fields goes down on the ground, forced to V right here. And Sebs is just playing phenomenally well on the outskirts. Does manage to get back out of the fight. He gets the Imminent Doom, but he doesn't have anything to CC him, and unfortunately, he misplayed trying to force something. Midnight Stinger didn't fight and was forced to V. Let's see what Dylan can do. Can he find a fight and an opportunity for Sebs to come in and DPS down someone, but not quite. Again, like I said, that Succession Sorceress is actually very hard to deal with, especially in a 2v2 scenario. He's at the luxury of just abusing his frontal guards and just staying on the outskirts. You can see Sebs is playing the outskirts as well, trying to play it safe. He does manage to get a TBS onto Luminix right there. Very good play. Can he find the sniff? He's in the outskirts. Is the sniff found? Not quite somehow. It didn't quite connect. Dream of Doom's thrown out. Dylan's on the ground, but yeah, he's just too tanky to really pressure.
I think we're coming up on the 1 minute mark here, so all the HP bars will be equalized again.
Yep, and there's the Crows, but he can't greet it. He doesn't want to get grabbed just yet. He's going to throw out the full charge Dream of Doom. Will the KD land? Does manage to actually land on a Luminix. I'm not quite sure what happened right there. That was so unlucky, and now it's down to a 2v1 scenario, but we can't count Dylan out yet. One catch on the Sebs may be the opportunity for him to bring this to a 1v1 and take the match, so let's see what happens moving forward. Dylan playing very well, playing very safe, but unfortunately for him, it looks like Sebs is playing safe as well.
I mean, at this point, they really could just play HP. We've seen them do it, too, as well. Proof knows at this point, hey, we got this in the bag. What I'm really surprised about was in the middle of that round, Dylan was able to... he felt incredibly tanky, but right at the beginning, he drops down to almost 10%. So maybe Guido... Losing Guido kind of is that key factor on whether or not they could take out Dylan prior to his teammates. But yeah, without Guido live, I don't think anybody saw how he got taken out. So
no, it was it happened so fast. Like I didn't
whatever
even think
they did,
HP could move that fast.
do it again.
Yeah, do that again.
Yeah, but also I'm kind of feeling maybe the kill on Guido was more like a consolation prize for how much pressure they would have put on Dylan. Maybe they just sent it at the Striker and was able to force his V immediately with all three people just wailing on him.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We'll have to check in the replay. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the second round here.
Let's get it right back into things. Things are looking very good for Proof, but let's not count Bloodline out just yet. That was the first round, and we've seen these teams time and time again adapt well midway through an entire match. So does look like we are going to play the sides of the patio moving forward, keeping ourselves protected. Dream of Doom charged up just in case, trying to get a catch right there. Sed's moving forward, not finding a catch just yet. And he's just going to move to the center of the match. And you see Jules is playing the outskirts right here, trying to find a catch on the Guido. Doesn't quite find it, then he runs away. But is Guido going to run in and connect a grab? Not yet. Doesn't look like it. A lot of damage being thrown out, but no CCs and no Vs just yet. You can see that TBS doesn't quite connect on the Jules, but something does find him. He is forced to V now. If someone can sniff that, we'll see what happens. But we do want to pay attention to the main fight. Let's see if we can find something. Nope, not quite yet, but there is a little bit of pressure onto Jules, and we've seen this before where after his V's down, anything can happen in these moments. All it takes is one grab. But he's still trying to position himself, go to the other side, and challenge the Sork on the outskirts. A little honorable 1v1 action, but he decides to move out of that towards the center of the map. doesn't quite find something, just throwing out the tornadoes, trying to find anything. Guido surviving in the middle of the fight, does manage to find a grab onto Dylan. Is it going to be enough, though? Is there going to be enough focus? Seb's getting really low. Dylan is getting low, and Dylan is forced to V.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened in the first round, too.
And will Guido get the V? Not quite, but there is a lot of pressure onto Dylan.
They're on him again.
Oh, no, and Dylan is on the ground. Unfortunately, he is taken out of the fight, leaving them on a 3v2 situation. All these are down on Bloodline's side. Will the Proof be able to take another win off of this match? You can see right there, Jules is getting dangerously low, and in this scenario with these classes, it's pretty much hard to exist. Your only thing you can really do is apply those slows and try and get that grab, but outside of that, you kind of just get SA traded down. All right, Guido not finding that grab
with when Proof has a teammate on the ground, it's almost like they're all hive mind. Like they know it. They know immediately. They all turn. Sebs was on the floor on a glass cannon Sork in the middle of the arena and did not have to V. He was able to immediately get back up because his teammates all jump on top. Like you have those peels, then in turn, you don't have to V, and Bloodline wastes 2 of them. It's if you peel for your teammates and you don't play the game just for yourself. It's a team-based game. You win together, you lose together.
Now, what is your opinion on the Succession Sork, Zen? Do you think he should have stayed on Awakening for this kind of fight?
Luminex is a suck Sork main. So in my notes prior to preliminaries, I wrote him down as a suck Sork because it's assumed he's always on suck Sork. He is always on Arsha server, constantly wreaking havoc with that class. He swapped to Awakening on his second showing, and I saw him hard swap twice, and he even noob jumped. He bot jumped in the middle of it. So I think after that round, even though they took the W, they were like, he was like, hold on, we got to go back home. We got to go back to where suck Sork is where I belong. Even though it may not be the right call as far as like what the meta is in present day, sometimes you could be the meta, right? Maybe Suck Sork isn't doing great, but you could.
Yeah, that's kind of a bar.
I think Luminex was, change it.
You can be the meta.
But
like that one.
I agree. Definitely comfort is going to be more important here, especially if you're up against the Proof. You just got to go back to what has been working and what you're more comfortable with. You can't just like bring something out just because it's so-called better,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see if they're going to be able to adapt. Let's go on to Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. There's 2 wins on Proof's side. Will they take 2 more, or will Bloodline bring it back to Game 7, potentially? All right, here we are at the beginning of the match at the gates. Gates are open. We're going towards the side. Let's see what we can do. Luminix is probably going to charge up that Dream of Doom. Let's see if he's able to find a pick with it. Oh, Burns Imminent Doom and Shadow Eruption at the beginning. Doesn't quite find anything, though. All right, Luminix is dancing out on the side. A lot of stuff are happening right here. Will Jules manage to survive right here, or is he going to get grabbed? There is a lot of stuff happening, but no one's on the ground except for Feels in this moment. Is he going to burn a V? Not quite yet. He's fine, but Feels is going to take a lot of chip damage here. Hopefully he can stay comfortable through all this chaos.
Once again, going back to kind of what Dylan does, I mean, Feels the striker, just no V used, no E-buff used, but just sheer confidence. Jules getting on the ground too as well. The Sork's just trading as much damage. You saw both, I believe, a Bloody Calamity and a double Dream of Doom in the middle of that pile. Everyone's just to play their part. Feels getting a grab on the hash. Hash V's out. Now at this point, I love how Proof actually winds up utilizing their E-buffs a bit later on into the round. That's a double E-buff pop from Proof, so huge damage coming out from Sebs. Jules getting out of the V, gets back in the fight, gets 7% with no V left. Can he be killed?
Oh, and he is caught by Guido, but he lives.
He is out.
Yeah, he's dead. He
is out, and that brings to a 3-2 right now. And at this point, even if Proof had to just run, they can get the win on this one. We know that they know what it takes to win. Guido going down to about 50% HP, but Zerkery's Beacon has that E-buff in his back pocket at any point. I think he's really just using the E-buff for that heal. Dylan's V'ing out. Luminex still has his V to take advantage of. Playing slow, nice little reset there, getting all together. Sebs being the aggressor right now. I mean, you can kind of see Sebs plays offensively when he has that huge grab on a striker on striker, just beating the hell out of each other, but cannot wind up getting anything to do anything with it without a teammate nearby him.
Right, you can see here, Fields is just doing a good job playing on every fight in the arena right now at all sides.
So much agency on this battlefield. Seems so hard for the Succession Sork to do anything here, honestly.
Right, and yeah, this is a 2v3. Jules going down earlier. Feels getting a little bit of poked out right here, but there's not too much pressure on him. He's just fine. He moves back into the fight. Leg drop comes out.
50% HP log.
Oh, looks like Luminix is actually taken out. And yeah, I feel like as the longer the fight goes on, the thing about Succession Sorceress is, yeah, it's very evasive and it moves around a lot. However, you're kind of forced to then go into trade so that you can get your shards back. But then you might happen to get grabbed because you're forced to make that trade. And that's just, it's a really difficult situation to deal with.
Yeah, and I'm hoping
I'm sure
that
any striker that I'm sure any striker that just saw what happened at the end of that, as it was kind of like fading to black, Dylan actually wound up getting grabbed by the Zerker in his Twisted. And I'm sure we've all felt that. Anybody that's played a striker knows that you're 10 feet in the air, but you will go right back to that vacuum grip of that Zerker. I'm sure right now, hey, don't break your controller just yet. You got a couple more rounds to go. Let's keep in the fight, keep the momentum going. I know it's frustrating, but let's keep it going.
Bring it back.
Hopefully Bloodline can figure things out here. It's really getting there, and I hope that they'll be able to put at least one round on the board before it's all over, because it's not looking so good right now.
All right. Well, perhaps this is the legendary we lost those first 3-1s on purpose, guys.
We were sandbagging, boys.
It was
now
actually on purpose
real.
to prove a point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and check it out and get right into things. This can be this could potentially be proof as your finalist champions here on the Arena of Arsha Console 2025 tournament, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and check out this match and see what's going to occur here. You can see Luminix going forward. I'm taking a going forward in the fight first, but he's being really evasive. He may be burning a little bit too much stamina right here. A lot of fight going down here in the center. Eruption doesn't quite connect. Guido's actually down on the ground, but is he going to burn V? Not quite. He's going to run away from the fight. Let's see if that's going to be enough breathing room for Bloodline to try and find a catch into here, but you can see there's also that pressure from Fields, who's just constantly going in and out. Guido on the ground again. He may be forced to V. He gets down smashed like 2 times, but again, he said, I'm a Zerker. All right, and you can see there's a lot of stuff happening right here at the gate. Quite no connections just yet, but Guido's getting dangerously low, and this might be potentially their win condition, just picking Guido off slowly.
Yeah, I think maybe the Hashashin has started turning the heat up because he came into this run and immediately popping his E-buff, and maybe that was the reason why they had to force 2 Vs out. Just so much damage coming out of the Hash, especially with his random flows coming out with the Purge. They probably just didn't expect it coming out from the Hashashin.
Right, this is actually a repeat of similar rounds from the proof where Sebs actually winds up V'ing relatively early, but then kind of changes play styles. He almost becomes a different sort, right? You have that, look, I have my V, I have no risk of dying, but I'm still in the fight. Luminex going down to 16% HP. I can't believe he did not V right there. Even if you're in SA, he's still in the fight though. Jules down to 4% with no left. Yeah, he gets away with just barely any HP. Guido and Dylan in the middle of the arena just doing as much damage to one another as they can. They kind of back off. They understand, hey, I'm a front line, you're a front line.
Jules does go down.
And Jules is out. 3v2 Snarro, and now Dylan still has his V. Luminex still has his V. The HP at this point, you got 20 seconds left. You got the 50% lock. Proteus is super low, but Proteus is saving his EB. Oh, is he going to pop it? He V's back. Now, I'm pretty confident I would see the Zerk is going to pop his EB.
If they can manage to set the V here, they might find the win, but they don't find it quite.
No sniff.
Oh, man, and he's going to slowly heal up there. But like you said, that 50% HP decrease is going down. But even though Guido is really low, he's like, oh, I don't care. I'm chasing right after you. Let me give you a big hug. And he's just looking for someone. But Dylan says, nah, that's my job. He does find the big grab. Do they manage to DPS him down? Not quite.
He might die here. He's dead.
Guido does die. It's now Bloodline has a chance to bring it back here and take a round off of the Proofs. Out of Proof's hands.
Now, if we're actually going off health bars here, Bloodline is in the lead right now if you're just checking the totals. If they're able to just chip them out a little bit longer, they might be able to just secure this round. 30 seconds left on the clock.
All right, you can see the strikers are kind of doing a friendly handshake right here. Just dancing, like kind of like monkey see, monkey do.
Just taking that B-boy stance.
Yeah. It looks like they're
it's
just
going to come down to the Dream
of
Doom. Watch. The Dream of Doom, 1%, last second. They got 20 seconds left on the clock. You know what's going to be played by HP right now.
But it actually looks like Luminix was on the ground. He was taken out. That's so unfortunate. It looks like Fields is going to go on the ground as well. Is going to be enough DPS? Not quite, but now it's a 2v1. Things are not looking good for Bloodline. The Proof is doing a phenomenal job with Sebs at 50% HP. Everything's fine. They can just play it safe. They don't have to risk it. This win is in the bag for them. And ladies and gentlemen, the Proof is going to be your 2025 Arena of Arsha Console champion.
Congratulations. Honestly, it was just so well played from the Proof. They played, I wouldn't say perfectly, of course, no one plays perfectly, but it was as close to perfect as you can get. Everyone had each other's back. They were almost hive-minded in the way they were just playing it. When someone's getting caught, like you guys mentioned, immediately 2 teammates are coming out of the woodwork, so just peel for them, get a counter grab, counter CC, and just launch their own counter attack immediately.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I want to give a shout out to Bloodline. These players came out today and they had a lot to prove. I'm pretty sure they were
a lot to prove.
that was not scripted. Anyways, Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the
I'm with
pressure
you.
was like super high, and it was like tensions were probably at the tippy top for them. Just very
Mhm.
very high stakes situation coming into the grand finals against such a decorated team. But they put up a great fight, and there was some glimpses of hope in there when they did get Guido down on the ground, even killed him a few times.
No, absolutely. And I gotta say, once again, you console gamers are built different. This was a lot of fun. There was so much action almost every match. So again, a round of applause for all the participants who joined for this tournament today, and a round of applause for Proof for coming back to reclaim their title once
Yep.
again.
The two-time officially.
Two-time back-to-back champions.
Yeah. And if we can go ahead and throw up the rewards that we have going on for the first place winners. Let's go ahead and check that out.
All right, now first place, the Proof did win an Arena of Arsha exclusive title, first place. Permanent title, as well as the Glorious Arena of Arsha weapon, permanent again.
That's
5
sweet.
Glorious Arena of Arsha reward boxes in 50,000 big ones in pros.
This is the type of deal where like you're a shoe collector and you have a nice pair of shoes that you like wanna just collect and keep it inside the case. Now they have one Arsha weapon for back home in the trophy room, and then they have some to rock out in the open,
now,
right?
Yeah.
In the wild. So
I think it would be more of a statement of like, I have it, you don't. I didn't let you get it, right? Only I have it.
yeah, crazy. All right, I want to give another shout out to our winners, of course, the Proofs locking that first place in, grand finalist and champions once again. Yeah, and on top of that, I want to thank the GM and CM team on the console side. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for helping us with the operations throughout all of this. Production team, GM Dennis is putting in the work in there on DJing in the mix. They're just keeping everything afloat. And of course, to my co-host CM Etsu from PC and
Yeah,
Zen. Of course, you guys were awesome. Do you have any last words before we get to the conclusion of this show?
Just want to say thanks console community for welcoming me on stream. You guys are really awesome, and I hope to do this again. Actually, I will be here tomorrow for the EU tournament.
We'll be back.
You guys, we will be back. But yeah, thanks for having me. And yeah, Zen, go ahead and shout yourself out.
Yeah, I mean, what an experience that was. I mean, once again, to kind of reiterate, I know some people, the console community, as far as like, if you kind of think of it as percentage-wise, almost all of us get a little piece of PP every day. I mean, it's really what we kind of like pride ourselves on, is just the activity within the size of the community, but still the wars that go on, the open world PvP that goes on. We want more of it. So kind of have a tournament like this at this quality and this format to... we hope this won't be the last, right? Because, I mean, the amount of people that pulled up for this, I was blown away by looking at the preliminaries, getting all the brackets, and seeing so many not just returning members from years ago. Like you saw the exact same 3 people getting together and not only winning the first tournament, but winning it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's consistency, right? Because the meta has completely shifted since then. So for them to kind of keep up with that, but also so many new faces coming, going forward, even though, hey, I know it's uncapped, so I want to play my part. So I just, for console community to PA, thank you. I mean, what an experience for not just myself, but I'm sure people in the tournament too as well, or people watching are like, you know what? I want to be in the next one, right? So I know I'm feeling like that.
We need you on the desk, though, Zen. I don't think that's going to...
we gotta need you on the desk.
We're going to need you to cast it. But anyways, yeah, no, thank you so much for coming through to cast this with us. You were honestly so invaluable with the insight you brought to the teams that were participating, as well as the analysis you brought was actually just,
spot on. Spot on.
You want to shout out your socials? Maybe where we can find you, your stream time?
Yeah,
maybe?
absolutely. Yeah, so I stream every day except for Monday. I stream from 6 p.m. to about 10 p.m. on weekdays. I do work, and then on weekends 6 p.m. to whenever I fall asleep. So you can find me on Twitch. My handle is I'm Zen TV, no spaces, just I'm Zen TV. I'll be live right after this doing some AOS. So if you guys want to join me for that, that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, awesome. And if we could probably get our, I think CM Affiliate is going to be piloting the Twitch chat. If we can just drop his link in there a few times in there for people to check it out, be awesome. And yeah, I think without further ado, I think that'll be it. We do have one last little gift for everyone who has been with us the entire stream, watching these exciting matches.
Yeah.
We have a coupon coming up for everyone that will be able to be used across all regions. So it doesn't matter if you're a player from NA or an adventurer from EU or Asia, you will be able to use this coupon. So if we can throw it up really quickly. It will be
Arsha 2025.
Yeah, keeping it short and sweet. Right to the point.
That's short.
Yes, it's as short as it's gonna get. It is sweet though, and some of the things we will be getting from that coupon will be a corrupt oil immortality. You get 2 of those, a premium elixir box times 3, and you'll also get 1 enhancement health kit too, to maybe get that power boosted up, because I know that some of these tournaments are very, very gear dependent, so you got to bring your best. And of course, we can't have a coupon without some cron stones, so you gotta love those cron stones. So we also have 100 cron stones in there, and be sure to use this before. I think the time limit on this is gonna be around 2 weeks, but yeah, I'm sure you guys will have no problem spreading this code around for everyone to use. So yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's going to be it from us. It was a great cast, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out to hang out with us. And we will be back again. The Arena Arsha tournament is not over. Although NA has concluded, we do have Asia coming up. Tonight for our Pacific time zoners, we have the matches coming up at 11 p.m. PST, 1600 GMT plus 9. And tomorrow we have Europe bright and early for the West Coasters again. It's going to be at 7:30 PST, or if you are functioning off UTC time, it'll be 15:30. So we'll see you guys there. Me and Etsu will be piloting the show, so you know what to expect. And with that, I think we're going to close things out. Thank you so much for joining this tournament, whether you're a participant or a spectator. It was a blast, and hopefully we'll bring more of this type of PvP content to you guys.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
All right. Later, everyone.